Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to our Pathfinder campaign, where we have just dealt with the aftermath of the party's trip into the Shadow Clock to deal with Sinisha. It was mostly a shopping and downtime session last week, but the important thing is that we got finally got the party into talk with the Lord Mayor, uh, Haldmir Grabaris, after numerous shenanigans involving guards and attempting to put people to sleep and things of that nature. Um, Lord Mayor Grabaris rewarded all of you with some big sacks of coins. Some of you got more than others based on transgressions that occurred into in the city with civilians. Um, Dino, Ursulin, and Cade, for their part, were basically docked 1,000 gold.
Oh, whoops.
He also informed all of you about some things related to the contents of the note that Edge found. He knows that there are a group of sort of rangers that patrol the area in and around Fort Rannoch. They're called the Black Arrows, and through the years they've been hard pressed to keep their fort, as there have been attacks from ogres as well as other denizens of that region. They have been pretty quiet recently, and so the Lord Mayor had asked if you guys wouldn't mind going to check the place out, just to see what's going on, as he does not really have any of his own men to spare at the moment. So you guys agreed to do that. There was not really any timetable given, so you kind of just can do it at your leisure. But after all of the shopping and selling of loot, including you guys, most of you at least, picking up a bunch of bags of holding, whereas Dino decided to instead stick with his dinosaur of carrying, as I'm going to refer to him in this context, complete with now a stuffed Zanisha as an accessory.
It's fashion, you wouldn't understand.
You all ended up back at the Platinum Pick that night to celebrate your victory a bit and kind of just take a load off from everything that you had done that day. Waiting for you at the Platinum Pick was a note that wasn't explicitly addressed to Ursulin, but it was from her fellow Riddleport native, Auric, who has stated that Avery Slag, one of the crime bosses, had gone missing. There is somebody else that has taken his mantle for now, and Auric decided that this would be the time that he would go over to Riddleport to one, try to regain some of what he had when he still lived there, and second, to investigate the situation. And he has told you all to meet him there whenever you can. And then we left off with everyone taking a rest for the night. So I'm going to adjust hit points accordingly.
I'm back. I was trying to figure out why my charger wouldn't work. It turns out it was unplugged.
That would be one very main reason why it would not be working.
I spent about 2 minutes during your recap saying to myself, "Why is it not charging?" And I started blowing in the little thing, and then I blowed into my phone. I was like, "Maybe there's dust." And I plugged it back in. It still wasn't working. And then I fixed the white part, and I made sure the white part was plugged into the outlet. But it wasn't the white part. It was the wire. The wire wasn't plugged into the other thing, and therefore it wasn't charging. I feel stupid.
So I feel like Ursuline is embodied and channeled by you a little bit in real life today.
It wouldn't charge for about 2 minutes.
This wouldn't charge.
Right, so
This is Ursuline forgetting her bullets. That's what this is
Why
equivalent
is my
to.
gun not working? Oh wait, it doesn't have bullets.
When the Nintendo 64 solution doesn't work, then you got some issues.
Right?
That was Nintendo
Um,
64 and
Did
my
y'all
phone.
see
That's
the the new Nintendo Online announcement?
Mm.
no, but what
they-
are we doing?
Are they
Let's
actually?
not
Sorry.
derail.
We did. We'll talk about it after game. Sorry, Tim. Go on.
No, you're good. I was basically done with my recap. So you all wake up the next morning on Wheel Day.
Wheel day.
Yeah, Wheel Day.
You mean Wednesday?
I mean Wheel Day because we're in Galarian and we abide by their calendar.
yes. Superior
No.
calendar.
So all of you go about your morning routines and your spell prep and all of that fun stuff. If you
Just gonna look at my cat and exasperately say, I don't want to go, but I have to go.
the cat just stares at you blankly.
Yeah, my cat in real life does that too, but I'm
Oh,
used
see,
to
I
it.
nailed it then. That's exactly.
I literally speak to my cat and he just looks at me like, "Are you gonna feed me yet?" Like,
I don't
what's
even own a
going on?
cat, and I know how they act. Love it.
I had a
just
dog that acted
my
like a cat.
I'm going to sigh and then pick up my cat by wrapping one hand around its front paws and the other hand around its back paws and just put it on like a scarf and then walk out my room.
It's like, my dog is definitely not a cat, but he does have 2 modes. I am going to sit here and be mopey and sleep, and we need to play now. Now's
It is a
playtime.
shoulder cat.
You must pay attention to me.
Couch potato or literally Energizer Bunny. It's one of 2 modes.
Yes.
I now have a shoulder cat, and eventually I will put the cat into my bag of holding, and I want to see everyone's reaction.
I'm gonna be so excited. Kate, you don't understand. Kate's sitting there bouncing. You just guys, as you see, like as we're waiting and everyone's just as a lull in discussion, you just start seeing Kate running around excitedly, going, "I can!" No longer over encumbered by everything.
I see cat blip out. I see Cade blip out of existence.
Meanwhile, Kat's trying to like carefully organize the stuff in her bag so she can easily find them.
You know, Kate's just finally just full blown sprinting all around town, just be like, "Look, guys, I can roll! It's freedom!" And just waiting.
Still at a medium load, so you're still slow.
I'm gonna throw some type of small part of one of my rations at Dino's head in the meantime as I run by him. Just go like, "Too fast, can't hear you."
I mean, I
Cat,
can run 80
so-
feet.
Kat is organizing her bag, but she is giggling as she watches this.
Gotta go
Like
fast.
she looks out,
If I
she sees
could
this, she giggles and goes back to like organizing her bag with a smile on her face.
Question: If I turn the bag of holding inside out, does it then carry itself?
No.
No,
I
you
think it
don't.
destroys it.
You don't do that.
You just dump everything that was in it, all of a sudden just starts pouring out of like this little portal thing until it finally just plops inside out.
That brings up another question. Can you
and then-
turn a bag
and-
of holding upside down?
So
Inside
You know,
out.
you know what? I want to clarify something. I feel like
Or
you
inside
should,
out?
but then if you turn it inside out, it just acts as like a normal bag that size.
Huh.
I don't know if that's actually the rule, but that's what I want it to be.
here's
Sorry,
here's the full description of the bag of holding, and I'm going to include everything because some of this stuff is funny and I feel like it. The bag of
Okay.
holding opens into a non-dimensional space. Its inside is larger than its outside dimensions. Regardless of what is put into the bag, it weighs a fixed amount. We already know all this. If a
Yes.
bag of holding is overloaded or if sharp objects pierce it from inside or outside, the bag immediately ruptures and is ruined. All of the contents are lost forever. If a bag of holding is turned inside out, all of the contents spill out unharmed, but the bag must be put right before it can be used again. If living creatures are placed within the bag, they can survive for up to 10 minutes, after which time they suffocate. Retrieving a specific item from a bag of holding is a move action unless the bag contains more than an ordinary backpack would hold, in which case retrieving a specific item is a full round action. Magic items placed inside the bag do not offer any benefit to the character carrying the bag. If a bag of holding is placed within a portable hole, a rift to the astral plane is torn in space. The bag and the hole alike are sucked into the void and forever lost. If a portable hole is placed in a bag of holding, it opens a gate to the astral plane. The hole, the bag, and any creatures within a 10-foot radius are drawn there, destroying the portable hole and the bag of holding in the process.
Sounds
yeah.
about right.
It's
So,
Please
can I
tell me- can we
roll
make
something
this
to see if I know this?
Hold on. Can we just make this canon before you roll? That there is literally a tag inside the bag with all this information on
Yes!
it. Please.
It has to come with an instruction manual.
Yes,
Yes.
including laundry instructions.
Yeah, including
Yes!
laundry instructions.
I'm assuming it's a
So-
cold water wash.
Cade's
Line dry
Oh,
only.
absolutely.
Air dry.
So I just want to say, from the way the description does state, it does seem that if you turn it inside out, it just acts like it is a physical bag again inside out, and
Yes.
it will act as a normal sized bag.
Yes, everything falls out of it undamaged, and you have to put it,
I'm so
put it
glad.
right ways before it can be used again.
And apparently, I cannot put a
Just trying to
Yorkie
figure
into a
out what
bag of holding.
portable
Got it.
hole is.
Correction, you can.
for less than 10 minutes.
Or
Yeah,
or you
so
have it in
no
the bag
ba-
of holding
so no
without the
bag
bag
puppies.
tight and its head just sitting out of it.
Oh my god, a portable hole
You can
is
literally
literally
put Chomper in a bag with just his head sticking out of the bag of holding.
Let's not do that.
Wait, but can I do that? Because if the bag of holding is a portal to another dimension, will it be able to actually stand inside the bag in order for its head to stick out of it? Because I feel like it would just kind of get sucked in. It would fall in.
Yeah,
Guys,
probably.
portable hole.
Well, that's
is
why you
literally
have
a
something
portable.
holding itself on the edge of the bag and just being like, I'm in this.
So like there needs to be a hammock on the bag in order for.
How about we make a rule of thumb? Don't put living things into the bag.
You're gonna give the dog
Because
a
we have
margarita
to.
too while it's chilling there, like you.
Wait, no. Okay, to be fair, I did this with Norn in a previous campaign. I did put a little damaged gnome that we had in our party that had broken his spine into my bag of holding with just his head sticking out. That is the only reason I even had this idea. And that does not mean that it has to apply to this, because this was also in Dungeons and Dragons and not Pathfinder. I just thought the idea was hysterical.
No, I'm just
And I
having
will
fun
digress.
wildly
It was even more
speculating over
hysterical
whether or
when he
not
got
I
killed
could
by
put
goblins.
a puppy into my bag of holding with its little head sticking out, and and the mechanics of doing so.
That's what I'm
I have-
saying.
Which reminds me, what happened to the puppy?
I want you guys to all know my puppy, he's been following around and staying in the inns that we stay in.
My cat's just been
And
around my
Sandpoint.
shoulders every time I fight.
My
Like-
puppy has been living in my room in Sandpoint, and the innkeepers have been taking care of him because I
Okay,
don't want him
I
to
just
die.
wanted to make sure because I was like, we haven't heard about the puppy in a while. The puppy's okay, right? We didn't
Oh
really
yeah,
hear
no,
about-
puppy's okay. Puppy is like literally the inn's
I mean, you
little
don't know
local
Puppy's
dog.
okay. A certain dragon that we might know in the hay might be ransacking it by now.
Okay, fair. If Sandpoint isn't okay, then Puppy might not be okay. But as long as the Sandpoint Inn that we stay
The
at
same
is
point threatened
okay,
by goblins. It doesn't take that much to threaten
Here's the question.
Sandpoint,
Do
sadly.
we want to? Go
you
to
just made
Sandpoint?
Cade start panicking and going, "We need to go home."
I'm sure the puppy is fine.
I'm not gonna lie,
Stop
I
it.
thought we were talking out of
Stop it.
character, so
I thought we were
I
talking
was
out of character
kidding.
too. So
Wait,
Neil,
I know,
stop it.
but I was bringing it back into character because I realized you were going on too many tangents. So Cade's having the
We're very funny
realization
tonight, aren't we?
that Puppy is at home and we are not home, and well, you guys all made valid points about it, and I'm going to say they were in character. And Cade's panicking now and going, "We need to get home." Sandpoint.
Cat's gonna go. Kate, I'm sure the puppy is okay. You know, stop it.
I'm
I
just
thought we were
gonna
talking
look
out
at
of
Kate.
character. Relax, I was
I'm just
joking.
gonna look at Kate and then gesture towards my cat on my shoulders and be like, I bet you wish it was portable.
You know what? It is portable. I'm just dumb. Okay, I want to go home.
Hey, Kate, it's okay. I'm sure the puppy's fine. Did you ever name your puppy?
Yes.
What's
His name is
name?
Marcus.
Aw, that's such a sweet name. I'm sure Marcus
Oh.
is doing just fine.
He is the littlest dude. He is always fine. I love him.
I'm glad. I'm
He
sure
just
that everyone is taking, or Mako's taking care of him, and it's gonna be just fine. Okay.
okay. But we should still go check on Sandpoint because this guy over here does have stuffed lizard lazy in his room. I don't know how. Do you guys actually get what we need for this with that thing?
We
Kate
should
just processed this.
Nice. Okay.
We're
Your
gonna have so many
puppy's
people angry at us with stuffed lizard lazy. How are we gonna even get to Sandpoint?
You can call me evil if you want, Tim. It's fine. Go ahead and do it.
Dino, Edge, Ursuline, Dream, where are we going and how are we getting back to Sandpoint?
Boat.
I don't know.
Well, no need now because the topic of discussion has been brought back. Edge.
Yes, thank God. Okay, yes. So, okay, yes. Out of character, do we actually need to go to Sandpoint? And why?
Not
Nah.
right now. But the only reason Cade wants to go is because she left her damn dog there.
Is that genuinely the only reason?
Well, there was also talk of like trading some of the more
Exotic things that we have.
evil magic items for weapon
Yes, my
enchantments and
man.
other stuff. I had thought that maybe Dino or even you would want to check on Shayless, but you know, there's aside from that, I mean, pretty much any reason you guys want to go to Sandpoint is just because you want to go to Sandpoint. There's no like pressing like you have to go here to do this reason.
Right, I guess at the very least, then we might as well do that. If everybody's on the board, the Sandpoint ship, then what we can do is we can go there, see this individual, get the enchantments, and then make our way back. But I don't think we should stay there very long because we really need to start pressing on and seeing what the heck is going on in Riddleport, and more importantly, what the heck is going on in that fortress.
I agree with Ed.
Fortress is our last priority right now. All right.
Well, yeah, Riddleport is on the way, but that's still at the bottom line. The mayor needed us to go there.
True,
And
but there's no time limit, so we can just go there whenever.
I guess. Let's try not to take too long at the least.
Yeah,
Okay.
I actually agree with Edge. I want to get all this done as soon as possible because we don't know how long. So I do think we should stop at Sandpoint just to reorient ourselves and then head to Riddleport.
Let me actually pull up the map because I'm curious. Because
We're
Okay.
not that far from Riddleport. Not that far from Sandpoint, if that's what you're asking about.
Sandpoint is like it's like a day and a half on horseback.
And we have our
Yes.
horses.
We
That-
do have
that's-
horses because we insisted on buying horses except for Dino because Dino has Chopper.
Or do you-
No, I bought horses except for Dino because Dino has Chomper.
But you gave us this horse is mine, bitch.
oh wait,
I
actually,
gave
wait.
everyone a horse but Dino because Dino has Chomper and Arizona sees Chomper as a fucking horse.
Wait,
That's what I said. Everybody has his horse except Dino because Dino has Chopper.
I'm dumb, right? I keep forgetting that the fact that Sandpoint also I thought Sandpoint was landlocked, but I realized no wait, Sandpoint Beach. Go do the math. So yeah, we can actually go. It would be on the way.
You know where else there's sand? The Grand Canyon. Is there a beach there? No.
Where?
Grand
Used to be a
Canyon.
beach.
There's sand
Yeah.
there.
I've been to two different universes and I've never heard of the Grand Canyon.
Canyon.
I love the commitment from Dream.
Sandpoint's on the coast. It's
Yes,
along the coast.
Now I need to find somewhere on the
Yeah,
map.
It's
that's
that
like
true,
looks the same
but
as
it
Grand
would
Canyon.
take I think it would take like a week for us to get from Magnemar to Riddleport by
Riddleport.
horseback. So bad idea.
So just
Yeah.
go by boat.
It would
You take
be.
a boat.
It would take like 3 to
Wait.
4 days by boat.
So Kat is just literally going to pull out a map because remember she got all those books on Perusia. She's going to pull it out and go, okay, so we are here in Magnemar. We have to pass by Sandpoint to get to Riddleport anyway, unless
Yes.
we go by ship, which is a direct route. Since I don't know about y'all. I don't have a ship anymore.
You have to get one then.
You're not
We
much of
should
a pirate.
probably go to Sandpoint and reorient ourselves. And since we already have good relationships in Sandpoint, we are more likely to be able to get a friendly deal to take a ship to Riddleport, unless we want to ride, which I don't.
Question: could we
Sam-
ask the mayor for a ship?
Sandpoint is not like Sandpoint's not like large enough to be like a charter ship type town.
Mm-hmm.
Cat,
buy a
like,
portable
just
hull.
out of character. Cat isn't thinking like a fancy ship. She is literally thinking maybe we can get like on a fishing boat or something.
It's something that won't sink. Let's take it.
Yes,
You did
that's
tell
what
us
Char's
it was
theory
cool.
is. It's like because Sandpoint, she knows it's small enough that they're not going to be able to get like a charter ship or anything like that. They're more likely to get a deal by agreeing to help on a crew or be on a trading ship or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, she's fully aware that she's not expecting a charter ship.
Gotcha.
I mean,
Because
we could
remember,
probably
her
pull it off.
background is like I'm going to use my sailing knowledge now. So she's familiar with what types of ships would be in Sandpoint versus a large city like Magnemar.
Okay.
Fair enough. I could have sworn though there was a. I'm trying to think, was there a direct route from Riddleport to? No, I guess there isn't a river.
Also, sorry,
'Cause I think once you get to Riddleport, we're going to have to go right and we'll have to cross. I'm just trying to see like how exactly from Riddleport we'd have to go that direction.
guys, I'm sorry. Out of character, do any of you hear beeping in the background?
I think that's my computer.
Yeah, I hear it too. I don't
Yeah.
hear. I don't hear it
Okay,
right
my
now, but I've been
computer.
hearing it.
Yeah, it's like very intermittent.
Is it
Oh,
from me?
beep? I think
Yeah.
that's actually Edge,
Yeah,
because Edge has like that fire thing that goes off every once in a while.
I think it's going crazy.
Okay,
No,
sorry.
I hear it. I hear it.
I just
So
wanted
wait,
to make
you
sure it was something on in the Discord and not something on my end. Okay.
Yeah, it's coming
So-
from somewhere. I just don't know where.
All right. I'm sorry, guys.
Is it that?
there's a direct point for water though for Riddleport to Sandpoint.
Yes, that's what Cat's saying. Like we could either
Yeah.
take water directly from here or Sandpoint, but I recommend going back to Sandpoint because Sandpoint we're not going to be able to book passage on a ship, but what we might be able to do, since we are well known there and we have the backup, be able to negotiate for passage on some type of trading
Like a
vessel,
fishing trolley or small.
which is going to be
Okay, yeah.
cheaper and also faster than your typical passenger vessel.
I
Let's
guess
just
if
walk.
it's want more discretion.
Plus, it allows us a chance to go home.
All
Now
right
you-
then, fine, very well. Sandpoint it is. Let's.
Stop.
All right then. I guess we're not debating this. Let's head homeward, I suppose.
Okay.
Well, Cat is
Word.
debating it. Cat is bringing up points. If you have a valid counter argument,
I mean, at this point,
Yeah,
any
like-
kind of argument would be to just go straight to the location, kill, and move on. But you know, I don't think. Yeah, he's more for the direct approach, but he has no problem with laying back and what's it called, taking things easy for planning.
Let's just walk.
we have horses.
Eh,
I think going back to Sandpoint's a good idea for us to figure out the best road to Riddleport anyway, because
Right.
I'm looking at this map and it's along the coast. There's mountains. It doesn't look like horseback's going to be our best bet, and I don't want to leave our horses in a stable here that long term.
Can I have
I'd
a
rather
question?
bring them back to Sandpoint for that.
Yeah, what's up?
Like out of character question. Could we not just again? Because I'm imagining that this little string in the Varison Gulf, they must have ships going all over the place. My question would be: would it not be smart, rather than take horseback, get a boat from here from Magnemar with the mayor's request, take that to Sandpoint, then take that all the way to Riddleport and wherever else we need to go? Because there must be some, like how in an airport, right? There's some planes that go like long distance flights from one city to another. Well, there's some that'll take like domestics that'll go from like A, B, and C, right? Couldn't we just find
Yes.
a domestic flight that will travel from Magnemar to Riddleport, from Magnemar to Sandpoint, and then Riddleport directly?
I mean, doesn't Magnemar know what we just did? Wouldn't they
Exactly.
be a little bit grateful for us kind of saving them and helping?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And we can
We could get a ship from them to go to Sandpoint.
We can get a
Yeah.
big
Is that
ship,
is
though too. We why not have a big ship on hand.
Kate's nodding along and going, so what I'm hearing is we all get the best of both worlds.
Do you
Yes, and
guys know how much a ship costs?
It might not cost too much for heroes.
Or we could just go to Sandpoint so I could sell the
I
map.
highly
So we
doubt
could
the
actually buy
mayor
a
is
boat.
going to pay
It-
for a crew and everything else. If we are
Ed-
lucky, they might be able to book us passage on a ship. However, any ship that just as a note, any ship that we get from Magnivar that's going to be a passenger vessel is likely not going to stop at Sandpoint, since Sandpoint is largely a trading town. So if we want to stop at Sandpoint, it is going to be unlikely, unless we charter a yacht or a private vessel, which I doubt the mayor is going to spring for. We can try, but in my vast experience, it is unlikely.
Keep in
However,
mind,
if we wanted to
let's
go on
try.
let me finish. If we wanted to go on a passenger, however, if we wanted to go directly here to Magnemar, from here to Riddleport, that is highly likely. We could probably get passage on a charter ship. The mayor will probably front it, especially if we make the argument that it's helping to solve the problems that the Magnemar has been experiencing. But we need to keep all that in. But I want to make sure that we're going into this with the knowledge of what is likely to happen.
Now hold on. I may have something that may help us convince the mayor. Let me just check.
keep in mind that he already gave you guys money for
Okay, fair enough. Then.
Oh, by the way, Kat's also going to roll persuasion on all of that.
diplomacy, but sure.
Diplomacy, sorry.
Thanks diplomacy for Cat.
Like,
You
by
can
the way,
see.
they just made that massive speech of here's our options. This is why this is the best way. I have experience in this shit.
50.
I'm gonna roll diplomacy.
I mean, some hideous laughter powder could probably do some magic.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, Kat is going to also roll her knowledge of.
We
Huh,
just
where's
got
her-
our
She's
money.
gonna
We
also
just
roll her-
avoided
she's also
jail
rolled her
time
zero
for
knowledge. Her zero knowledge is not helping her in her argument.
yeah. We got a bunch of money. We avoided jail time for our
Okay, so you're
for
saying
our
we
part
did
in negligent
kill him.
homicide.
Alright, fair enough.
Let's drug the Lord Mayor.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's okay. That's what you're
God.
working towards.
Live
That's like-
dangerously.
I was
They
not
just-
gonna look
about
and be
that
like,
at all.
that is a
I thought we were
terrible
going to
idea.
bribe him.
Oh, you guys are no fun.
Kate just looks at Jareem and everyone else and says, or counterpoint, he could do it and I could just counterspell it because I can cast
Can
that
we
as
not
well.
drug? Like, I realize this is coming from me. We could probably just talk to the mayor and ask for a favor. We do not need to drug them.
That's
Okay,
just
fair.
saying-
Can I just digress for a
Worst
second?
case
It doesn't.
scenario, I can try charm person. I can charm them. Did we
Wonder if I
forget
have
that I
any
can
mind
charm
flayers
them? That
in
is
there.
literally how I made my living.
Kay just looks over and goes, okay, that was a bad timing. I was just kind of more so liking the plan that Dream had. We don't necessarily need to execute it for this particular situation. I was just saying that we could have that in our back pocket. I'm sorry.
Sharp sugar, Sanish. Where'd my mind flayer bread go?
You used all of it.
I did.
It's
yeah,
it's
that. How,
it,
it's slash-
it's this. It's and that. Oh, I can't even do it. It's this. Fucking Christ Almighty.
All right, have it your way. I don't have anything to help here.
So yeah, we can definitely just go talk for a bit. I wasn't necessarily saying we have to do it. I was just saying that if we ever do accidentally cause someone to have some hideous laughter fit, we could fix it.
One day you guys might need it. And I don't know what I'll say. I'll probably say yes.
So everyone whisper me your vote for what to do, since we can't seem to decide, and then that will be the.
Ta-da!
Does everybody see? Did I whisper to Tim, or does everybody see that?
The slash goes
Everyone
before the
sees that.
W, and you need a space there, but it's there now, so
You were
it'll.
so
Everybody knows. Well, Cat been very adamant about what she wants to do anyway.
Yeah, I know. So you were the
Yeah,
one vote
I
where if it was
gathered.
gonna show, it's okay. I was like, whoa, that's all, folks.
Kat gave a whole speech about why we should do her plan, but nobody wants to listen to her.
Hey, we're all listening. We're just having an open debate on what we should do.
I am I'm missing one vote.
Kat would like to disagree with that.
Is it? It's not me, is it?
It is you.
Oh god
The
damn it!
beep, the beep. Wow.
One more time.
I just want to say that even if he never goes robot again, you can still sing one more time because you'll always have me stuttering.
Wait, is it me?
The beat. Oh god damn it!
That's all, folks.
Hold
That
on.
was good.
Hold on.
I'm confused
Hold on.
now.
Hold on.
Wait, did I actually have a? Did I have a
Yes!
drum on or not?
You have a
it's-
beep. You have a beep with your mic.
Beeping.
It must be because of the cable. Hold on.
Hold on.
Yeah,
this
no
is,
worries.
This might get us a DMCA strike, but I'm willing to take that chance.
How about
Just-
this?
I'm fucking dead, dude.
It's
Oh.
Cade. It's Cade. It's Allie. It's Cade. It's
Cade on a good day, and then Cade on a bad day is the pig from Looney Tunes.
Saying the beep word for some reason kept making my brain short circuit, and every single time I tried to tell Edge his mic was beeping, my brain was just like, "We're gonna say no words."
We're just gonna say the same syllable over and over until you fucking give up the will to speak.
Okay, so the votes are in, and you guys are going to Sandpoint.
Yay! I like how no one chose option 4.
We don't know.
Burn it to the ground. That's a bad idea.
Oh, the torch option 4. Yeah. No.
Torch is the inner chaos of the group.
Right, so we'll head to Sandport now then. So let's just expedite this.
Right.
We need to go to get our horses and pay for our horses' stay in their spa-like care treatment facility.
The stable.
So, yeah.
Jesus, Fred! Why are you so loud? There we go.
Yeah, I lowered it on mine a little bit because it's
Fred
kind of
was
loud.
at like 200, and I don't know why.
So, you guys go and pick up your horses from the Stable Masters Guild in the Keystone District. I completely forget what they said. What I said they were going to charge you. So I'm.
It was either 5 gold a day or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds right. So that's going to come out to.
How many days have we been in there?
3 days, I think.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, so 15 gold per person. Well, those of you who have horses, 15 gold.
Right, I'm paying.
Woo! Druid for the win!
You have retrieved your horses, and you're ready to head back towards Sandpoint.
I have an odd number of coins. Ew. Can I pay in silver too?
If you have to, yeah.
Alright, so what is it? 10 silver equals 1 gold?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
You said 15 golds?
Yeah, 15 gold.
Up to 30.
That item we were talking about. Go ahead and buy that real quick.
Oh yeah, your thing that you commissioned. Yeah, so you go ahead and you before you leave, you go pick up the big old grill for Chomper.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't like that roll.
So that's 4,000 gold for that.
Alright, but I paid 150 initially, so
Yeah,
I just
so-
can't just give myself that back.
Yeah.
Maths.
Math.
All these tabs.
I couldn't do
open up
math.
about Riddleport right now.
15 gold.
And I can add that to Chomper's sheet a little later.
You
So,
know,
you,
I still want a portable hole.
once you guys are ready, you set off back out onto the Lost Coast Road, heading eastbound towards Sandpoint.
But I did interrupt, but I don't have a horse, so I'm gonna transform into an Allosaurus and carry Chomper like I did last time.
Yeah. So you do that to make sure that you're keeping pace with everybody else, or perhaps even a little further ahead, whatever suits your fancy. Are there any sort of things you guys want to do on the way back? Any kind of activities? Any business you want to take care of, or should I just?
Do I have anything?
As silly as it sounds, Cat would really like to take a swim in a river.
Weird, but okay. Are you part fish?
No, it's really hot. She hasn't had like a proper bath. There was not a proper bath in her hotel room, and she would really like to just. But
Okay, so
I get it.
we can.
she's stressed out, man. She wants a nice soak.
All right, so
We're
we
going
can.
back to Amenco's. You can take a soak there.
Well, no. All right, we can. Here's what we'll do. We'll do. Do it like this. We'll.
I'm also kidding. We don't have to do that. Cat will live.
Yes.
This is mostly because I want a pool, and I don't have a pool.
What?
Well, I have a inflatable pool, but A, now it's too cold for it, and B, I have no inflatable.
I'm
So-
pretty sure the white horse is kids.
Don't
Cade's
mind
down
me.
for a swim.
Yeah. So we'll
Cade's
do.
down for a swim.
We'll say that this happens when you guys make camp for the night.
Perfect.
Since pretty much the entirety of the Lost Coast Road is traveling along the river. So you guys set up camp for the night. Those of you who want to go bathe in the river can do that. Given the time of year, the water is fairly cold, as well as the air temperature. There's a chill in the air tonight. So you'll definitely have to sit by the fire for a bit to warm up afterwards. Nothing really bothers you in the water. You don't really even see any like fish or any other creatures. It's a peaceful, therapeutic soak in a river on this night. Is there anything else that anyone wants to do?
Cade wants to try
Yeah.
to find components essentially for making potions and such. Like as we're traveling, just to be on the lookout, knowing that people have the ability to make enchantments and potions. So any like herbs or minerals or metals or woods or anything like that that might be necessary for these enchantments, if I can grab those components by harvesting them or finding them on our travels, I would like to.
Cool. Go ahead and make a survival check for essentially gathering.
Okay. And then
18.
survival.
What's up?
Boom.
Bang.
Not great, not terrible. Wow, Dino. I see how it is.
What's talking about?
No
Okay.
guidance.
You went off on your own.
So
I said while we're on our travels. I'm making a joke. It's okay. Ooh, sorry.
you gather
Hurt.
several and a pretty good variety of herbs for making potions. You also manage to you come across a couple of smaller like saplings that could potentially be good to chop down for some wood if that's what you want to do. You also You also find a rock, a rather large rock that has a bit of iron deposits in it. And you managed to break off a couple chunks of iron ore from that.
Oh, Kate's gonna be really excited about this and store some of this all into the bag of holding, knowing I don't need access. Bag that I have for the smaller herbs and stuff. I'll put into the spell component bag inside the bag of holding, and everything else just kind of yeeted in there.
Okay. Kat, you're enjoying your peaceful soak in the river.
I am.
There's a relatively clear sky. Good night for stargazing.
Is anybody joining me?
What?
Or has anybody else decided to, like...
Cade.
Essentially, I want to know if I need to be prepared for shenanigans.
Cade,
possibly?
Cade, I guess, after gathering, is going to join you. And a few minutes later, you, actually, both of you, go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay.
Not great. Not great. Not my finest abilities today.
Okay. I have to look something up real quick. Do. Oh my god. Okay. So the two of you are finding this whole experience very relaxing. Some of the pains and soreness of the day's adventures are just falling away from your physical forms. And everything's going great until you both, your eyes are kind of wandering around. You both look towards where you entered the river, and there are a few snakes that have posted up and are hissing in your direction.
He just slowly turns and looks at Cat and then back at the snakes and just starts scrambling as quickly as I possibly can to the farther part of the shore away from the snakes and going, snakes are not okay.
Let's see if I identify a snake.
Kate's just gone.
Sorry, what was the check for?
Identifying the snake. Like, is it a dangerous snake or is it a snake that's gonna let me chill?
Are they water snakes? Like,
they're vipers.
Okay. So Kat is going to see this and calmly walk toward the shore and away from the snake. And calmly but quickly just get out of the water. She's just gonna nope.
Kate's a very large opposite of that, and just flailing for it.
Okay. The vipers, they simply watch you. They don't move towards you or attack or anything.
Yeah, Kat sees that. She's like, she realizes they probably won't bother her, but she's like, I'm just gonna not frisk it and calmly walk away, because she knows that if she makes a fuss, they'll get scared and attack out of defense. But if she stays calm, they'll just.
After you, briefly after you exit, you both exit the river. The snakes do begin to follow after a few moments. They once you're a bit more clear of them, that's when they begin to pursue.
Nope. Cat's like. Cats go. Question.
Yep.
Are Cat and Cade clothed?
That's up to you.
Or did we have time to get dressed before the snake starts following?
Yeah, like, did we have time to grab our gear? Because Cade, like, dashed out of the water immediately.
I would say you had time to grab your gear, but as far as actually, like, putting everything back on, I would say partially.
Okay.
Cat's to put on. So Cat put on her pants, and
Kate's got their
I'm
mithril
not gonna
shirt
lie.
on. And
I don't know the
pants.
specifics, but some bra-like object so that she doesn't go flapping.
Mm.
And goes,
Yeah.
okay, Kate, we are going to calmly but quickly go back to camp.
When you turn around, Kate is already gone. Like
Okay.
paces ahead of you, bolting, going, I don't understand.
Cade following the I don't have to be faster than the snakes mentality.
Cat's just gonna go, alright,
Yep.
Cat's gonna use hypnotism on the snake.
Okay.
Please work.
I have to ask a question real quick. Oh, you totally should have done that as a secret roll, but that's okay.
I don't so it's fine.
Well, yes, I can see the number now. You don't have to whisper it to me. Okay. What's their bonus here? All right, not very much. Oh, wait a second. They have wait, do they really have? Nah, I'm not rolling with that.
So Cade stops running and looks back, and sees that Cat is not following.
So, as you go to release your spell, the energy that you give off sort of illuminates the area around you. You now see that there are 5 of these snakes. All 5 of them fail the saving throw.
Cool.
Roll 2d4 for the number of hit dice you affect. Okay, so that's enough for all of them. So all of them are fascinated, and they become more docile and friendly towards you.
Cat is going to use hypnotism to tell them to go the other direction and back in the water. She's like, alright guys, time to go back home. Go away now.
They look at each other a little confused because they can't understand you, but
Well, because of hypnotism, I can make a single request. Oh,
provided you can communicate with it.
got it.
Well, you can motion like your hands, like
Yeah,
shoo.
Okay. So
come on, go away.
You add some rather expressive hand gestures into your request, and the vipers they do start heading towards the water. They don't go into it. But they make it to about like the edge of the river.
All right, and Cat's gonna go. Bye, Vipers. Nice to meet you, and quickly go back to camp.
Okay. By now, Cade's made it back, so everyone goes back to camp. And you find all of your friends sitting around the campfire that has been built, and some of them are beginning to set up their bedrolls and such for the night.
Cat's just gonna go. By the way, there are vipers in these woods. I charmed them, so they should kind of leave us alone. But just an FYI, that's a thing. And Cat just continues. And Cat goes 100%.
I should catch one and maybe extract some venom.
Cat's like, look, I hypnotize them, so right now they should at least respect me and leave me alone, so they'll probably leave everybody else alone. But in general, if you see a viper, just let it be. It won't bother you.
Well, if they're
Start
hypnotized,
following you,
it'll
then get concerned.
be a lot easier to extract some venom, so I'm gonna go do that.
Cat looks at
Kate
him
just
and
kinda-
can't really think of a good argument. She's like, you know what? Fair.
Cade looks over at Dino and just says, Okay, not. Is this prejudice? I don't even know. Did your lizard folk friends train snakes to be kind of lookouts? Like, is there anything you know that would cause a reptile that's normally not sentient to seemingly follow you? Because as I recall, they were on the bank we tried to originally get in and waiting for us and started following us until Cat did something, but I left Cat behind. Hi, Cat. You're not mad at me, right?
And Cat is going to see an opportunity to fuck with Cade. So she's gonna go, how dare you? You left me there to die. I thought we were better friends than that. My God, what's wrong with you?
Oh, I'm not.
For one, I have no idea what you're talking about, and second of all, vipers are territorial. Get too close to one, it's not going to be happy.
Cat looks at Cade.
Kids.
Kate, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's fine. I'm actually happy that you left. I didn't want to accidentally hypnotize you. It's okay.
Actually,
You use magic?
is
Kay just excitedly hugs you.
Edge here while all this is going on?
Okay.
Yeah, everyone is here.
Can
It's like,
Edge will sense good news?
You do realize that I made a lot of my money by just charming people, right?
Yeah, but you used magic to save my ass. I have another magic user friend in the party.
You've seen me use magic before.
I know.
So wait a minute, guys. You're telling me we fought Shambling Mounds, Golems, and a Medusa, and you both are scared of a couple of small snakes?
Scared, I was calm, but I'm also not stupid.
Okay,
Dream's
to be
starting
fair.
to walk towards the river.
Okay.
To be fair, I say, looking at Dino and going, it was more so I am afraid of snakes. They have no arms and legs. Cat, on the other hand, dealt with my panicked ass, and yeah, okay, so I'm afraid of snakes. Kate just trails off.
That's
The
not
only
afraid of
reason why I
snakes. I remember
hypnotized
her
them is because they
panicking
started-
and running away from a viper before. The
Cat's like,
catacombs, remember?
I saw snakes. I got out of water because I know they're territorial. They started following me, so I hypnotized them to go back to the water, and I was calm. I am not afraid of snakes. My little brother had a pet snake growing up, and I hated the damn thing, but that was only because he would sometimes forget to feed it. So I was the one who had to take care of it, because apparently I was the only person who wasn't afraid of it. The snake liked me. It was cool.
So, Dream, it doesn't take you long to make your way down to the river's edge. You do find these 5 viper snakes. For the moment, they still appear to be under the effects of Cat's hypnotism.
Alright, I'm gonna milk them.
Roll handle animal. Okay, so you begin working with these snakes to try and extract some venom. You do manage to get 1 dose of venom. As you go to start getting a second one, the vipers, they sort of shake off this kind of stillness that has come over them, and they all sort of hiss at you aggressively for half a second, and then all of them blink out of existence.
What?
They all just disappear.
Okay. So
Wait a second.
now I'm gonna do this.
Okay. Yeah. So in the immediate area, you you do detect the remnants of conjuration magic.
Huh.
It leads you to believe that these vipers were somehow summoned here.
Okay. Um.
But you do manage to get 1 dose of viper venom.
Nice. Got some venom anyway. I'm a fake raptor. I mean, a fake snake. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna go back to camp with that information, I guess.
Okay.
Look alone.
So you return to camp with a small vial of venom in hand, and yeah, you find everyone basically exactly as you left them.
So the snakes weren't real. Someone sent them to you guys. So, we should definitely, double look out tonight.
Didn't sense any evil though, but it may have been out of our range. Whoever they are, they have long-term capabilities. It seems.
I can't hear Edge.
Oh, really? Can you not hear me? Hello?
I hear you, just coming
I
a
can
little
hear you.
low.
Maybe I should raise myself. Hold
Okay,
on.
I turned you up.
Oh, okay. But yeah, Ed just looks around. He's just like, I didn't sense anything though. Perhaps they're rather far away. They may have rather long-range magic casting abilities, so we must be on our guard.
Well, I mean, you did detect evil, correct?
Yes, but I sense nothing.
Maybe they're not technically evil.
Sense good either though. I don't believe they're in this immediate vicinity, but they are watching us.
They're definitely
Prob-
watching us for some reason.
Can I go into where they saw the snakes and examine the area? Because I don't think Edge actually went there.
I'm gonna come with them.
Sure. All right. So yeah, you both head back down to the edge of the river.
Yeah, he's gonna
Keith
try it
says
again.
underneath their breath and goes, okay, I guess we're all going. Okay.
Using your
It's
detect
fine.
detect evil aura again, and there's nothing around that hits as evil.
We're good.
Kate's just gonna look around as they're panicked and just look for signs of anyone or anything sentient or traces of magic or anything else like that. Since he's saying we're good, like literally good. There's no evil around. Can I see if there's any magic or signs of human or on other sentient beings? Like,
Okay. Go ahead and roll perception.
Guidance.
just perception.
Yeah, just perception. You're just trying to detect other creatures.
And I also said if there's any magic, like
Oh
things.
yeah, sorry. Magic. So then yeah. Well, dreams detect magic would still be active. It's been less than a minute. So you don't see or hear anything other than your friends. As far as dreams ongoing detect magic, the remains of the conjuration spell have faded. There doesn't appear to be any other magic in the area.
Excuse me. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
I
Kate
would like-
just kind of looks around concerned.
I'm gonna say, guys, relax. They're just vipers. Besides, I think I can go for a swim, and I'm gonna transform into a giant snake. But
Okay.
to be more exact, one second, I'll tell you exactly where
He
it's
smacks Dino right as he says this and goes, Jesus, what? As he's like in the middle of transforming, and then I go and kind of like hide it behind Edge and going, you were saying? Trying to listen to Edge, trying to avoid the giant snake, Dino.
What did she say? I barely heard that.
I think she
A
smacked you
snake?
as you were
Really?
trying to. She was trying to smack you, but then you turned to a snake, and then she hid behind me.
said it's
Because I was
right
mad at you
here.
for saying you're going to turn into a snake after watching me panic about snakes. And then you
Or
started turning into
Emperor
one.
Cobra, that's what it's called.
Fuck.
I would transform to that,
Okay.
which is large size.
Transform into a large cobra. Much bigger than the snakes that were in the area previously. You're
And as
actually kind of
cobras
like
have a swim speed, I'm just gonna go in the water and chill out.
you're kind of like Zanisha sized, basically, but a whole snake.
Oh, snake.
But yeah, all right. So you go in the water and hang out.
Can I roll for Knowledge Arcana to think about what type of creature, wizard or otherwise, would try to conjure up snakes and for what reason?
Could be a guy who just really likes snakes.
Yeah, that was the same kind of logic Kate says, looking at
Yeah, roll
I had
knowledge
similar
arcana.
logic with asking, do you know if any lizard folk would train snakes like that? But yours makes more sense. I tell off.
So you know that if it was a natural
wants to help.
beast that was summoned, there are only a few different types who could have done that. It could be all of them are like nature-y type classes.
Cat helps.
Yeah, druidic.
Yeah, it could be druidic. It could be a shaman. It could be a ranger. It could be a hunter. Any of those.
Right, then. Well, oh, what time is it now? In game.
In game, I would say probably like between 8 and 9 o'clock.
Alright,
At
so
night.
when Edge will actually take an early nap, so he can actually be up at night to keep watch.
Okay.
Because he's got suspicions.
All right. So yeah, you go ahead and take part of a rest, which you can then complete later.
Don't think they'll attack again right now. But definitely later. Anyways, yeah, so that's me.
Okay. What's everybody else doing? Besides Dino, of course, who's just hanging out in the river.
I'm panicking. Going, why is someone deciding to summon snakes around us? And going, I guess I can try to sleep if Dino's relaxed and Edge is going to set up watch.
Cat's fine. She's like, I will figure this out in the morning. I want to sleep.
Okay.
So she's gonna go to bed.
All right. So, those of you who are still awake, who is taking first watch?
Probably Edge. Because he slept early to wake up early, so yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So then Edge will take watch. You notice that Dino hasn't returned yet, but everyone else is sound asleep. Your watch passes without any incident. Dino, when do you come back, or do you come back?
I'm gonna go ahead and come back.
All right, so you come back towards the end of Edge's watch, and he's there waiting for you. You come back. You're still a snake, or do you drop your form?
Snake Dino.
All right, so yeah, giant Cobra Dino returns to find everyone else asleep, but Edge is diligently keeping watch.
I'm currently farther away from my computer than need be because Puppy fell asleep on my leg.
Yeah, I was gonna say you certainly sound far away.
I am far away.
Alrighty then. So
I am in the void.
Who would like to take second watch?
Might as well. I'm up.
All right. So yeah.
I don't have to take watch. I can roll perception in my sleep.
Look at you, all fancy. All right. So yeah, Dino, go ahead and roll perception for your watch.
Guidance.
Where's the roll, ma'am?
Give me a sec. Roll 20. It's slow.
I'm a fan of that reference.
You are.
Where's
28.
the leak, ma'am?
Finland.
Okay.
Age.
You Dino, you hear the sounds of various animals. Nothing overly concerning. It's mostly birds. Occasionally, you might catch like a bat flying by. But otherwise, your watch also goes by without incident. And as the sun begins to rise, everyone has recovered more hit points. So that should put everyone back at full.
Alrighty.
It is now Oath Day.
Oh, do I get my wild shakes back?
Yeah, you do.
Awesome.
You guys all, just like yesterday, you go ahead and do your routines, your spell prep, all that fun stuff. And whenever you're ready, you mount up and you finish your trip back to Sandpoint. You arrive there in the early afternoon, I would say.
Can I have my foot back, please?
You're talking to the dog.
Give me my foot.
Okay.
Assuming she's talking to the dog.
Yeah.
No, don't. Ow.
Alrighty, so now we're back at Sandpoint.
Oh, you're just rude.
Yeah, you
Yeah, but the screen's black on my screen.
you arrive at. Oh, did I not? I've moved everybody there.
Yeah, I cannot see anything either. Sorry.
Oh, I know why. Because you're not actually on the map. Hold on.
Got myself on.
No, I'll just copy and paste everyone's tokens. I'll fix it.
Okay.
This dog is rude.
Sounds like it.
Just mean is what you are, Molly. You know I need to go to my computer, so what do? You lay across the whole damn bed.
So weird. I see him on the map, but everything else is still darkened.
I see us. Top right.
No, I see my. Okay, there we go.
For
Nice.
whatever reason, daylight mode was turned off on the map. I don't know why.
Odd.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been. So, like I said, you guys arrived through the town gates early afternoon. And the rest of the day is yours, so what would you like to do?
I want to go to the dude where I can sell the masks.
You want to head
Don't
to
want to be
the,
late on the move.
you want to head to the Feathered Serpent.
Yeah.
Might as well head there too.
See, she's getting moody
Oh,
now.
but
that
first
I'm
I'm
here.
gonna go to the Rusty Dragons. Say a quick hi to Ameko, and then I'm gonna get my Manticore trophy.
Yeah, Edge will also check up on Chalice as well and anybody else.
I'll do that too, but if we're going to the Feathered Serpent first, I gotta get all my shish.
I'm gonna,
Serpent.
I don't know.
Besides, Edge, remember he's the guy we were talking about. We get all
Yeah.
those sweet enchantments, so might as well come with.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I feel like we should look into who made those snakes because someone's spying on us, and that's not good.
Right, but unfortunately, I'm not sure how exactly. If they find
Right?
something,
I mean, I didn't see anyone on my watch, and I was a giant snake. Nothing goes past my snake
I
eyes,
could be
so
wrong.
we are fine.
Edge definitely agrees. It's suspicious the fact that it didn't show up on his sort of good and evil dar, but he doesn't really have much of a solution to it until they try again. You have no way
He
of
just
detecting
takes.
them.
Dark. It's dark. Oh, there I am.
I'm gonna apply my viper venom to my impaler thorn.
Okay. Let me look up. It might not be.
If not, I'm making a bomb out of it.
Well, it's one of those things that like it might have like a time limit, like applying it to a weapon. So I just want to. Nope. It lasts until you hit with it. So, yeah, you can apply it now and just save it for later.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So, for now, all of you head on over to the Feathered Serpent. Vorvashali is there and is rather excited to see all of you again.
Okay, let me guess. If I were to use detect evil here, it would basically be like setting a grenade off in a
Christmas.
minefield.
It would be like Christmas night.
Yes.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. There's literally a pentacle on the ground.
Yeah, there are a number of
I still night mode because same thing as before.
there are a number of magic items that are of the occult variety in here. Mostly trophies and other trinkets that Vorvashali has either collected in his travels or convinced adventurers to sell to him.
I want a chat identity.
But nonetheless, he greets you all heartily, saying, well, if all of you are here, then there must be lots of interesting finds that I have to look at. So, who's first?
Yes, sir. I guess I could go last.
Well, actually, genuinely, cast detect good and evil again on him. Just coming in here. It's basically again, it's like a priest coming into a whorehouse. Again, it's kind of putting him on his guard. He trusts his party, but it's like, is this really the right way to do this?
I don't know. I can't say for certain that I know the right way to do anything.
So, Vorvashali himself is not evil. But again, there are a number of items in here that have sort of an evil nature to them. He prides himself a little bit on being a place where someone can safely sell these things to, as he puts them on display, and certain ones he won't sell to others. So.
There's the ones he won't sell. Oh yeah, your palette is here, Cade.
Right. So then let's.
You could definitely buy it now.
Kate just kind of sheepishly looks and goes, I kind of can't. I bought a lot.
No's gonna go first. I think Dino will step
Yeah.
forward. I'm gonna call Edge to come over as well.
Yeah, Edge is helping basically take off this gigantic
He's
snake
selling
thing
the
on
Lamia.
his
Are
You
you
see,
selling
I'm
the
gonna try
Lamia?
to sell the Medusa. I'm gonna sell the Manicore. I'm gonna sell this Broken Telescope I have. I'm gonna go to Vorvashali and say, "Behold!" I'm gonna like show off Chomper like how he has a Medusa around his neck. The monstrous Medusa.
Eric's just gonna look at Marshall and whisper, "It's a Lamia." It's a
Medusa.
Lamia.
can let him judge for that. So he presents it to Vorashali, and presents the body down on the ground.
So,
That's it.
Vorvashali is wide-eyed, seeing these items placed before him. He says, "All right. Did you guys kill these yourself, or did you find them? Like, there's got to be some kind of story here. I have to know."
I point to the Medusa and say, that right there is the monster responsible for all our problems with the whole chopper incident.
Oh, you
As
mean
well as the ghouls as well. She's responsible, and now she's dead.
Oh, you mean the murders in town and elsewhere?
And the corruption of Magnamar, apparently. I have a note. Since he can trust him, he actually shows them the note that was sent to Zanisha and the conspiracy. That further the evidence the fact that, there's one, a good story here, and two, this lady was generally up to some bullshit.
So,
Aisha, or is that someone else?
No,
The,
Zanisha
the
and
now-
whoever that sibling is. Which actually, Edge will inquire. I don't suppose you've seen this handwriting before, or heard of the name Zanisha. Any associates you may have around in your circles?
no, I hadn't heard of the name before. Around here, they had, after word got back of that cult that existed, people had just been calling this whole incident the Skinsaw murders. But if this is the murderer, then
Well, not quite. She wasn't the murderer. She was just the
mastermind.
boss, the mastermind in charge, the puppeteer, or however you want to call it, that charmed people to do those murders.
Yeah.
so this one here orchestrated the whole thing.
Part
Yep,
of it-
Exactly.
Pretty much.
Well, this is quite a find.
Yeah, Ed says there's still
Reaffirming my
more
fear
out
of
there.
snakes is a very valid thing. Giant snake lady bitch. Zanisha is her name, I believe. I'd say, looking over at Vershali and Hino as they're talking.
Outright.
What were you gonna say, Edge? I don't want you to get talked over.
Well, one,
Oh, I didn't
said
hear him. I'm
I
so sorry.
yeeted myself off the map somehow. Everything's gone black again.
I got you.
Yeah, the second thing Edge was going to say, conspirator is the proper word. They're as noticed in the letter, they have a sibling of some description. They have a plan at Fort Rannick. Is I mistaken? That's the name.
Vorvashali looks up at you, Edge, and he says, so you're saying there's more of these?
Apparently.
Yes.
Don't worry. I have every intention of hunting down every single one of them. And, well, I have no real need for them. If it's something that you are interested in, I'll share whatever I find.
Vorvashali looks around, stopping towards the sort of mantle that's near his like larger couch down in this area of the room, and he says, "Gonna have to clear out some space over there." So
we may not stuff the next one. I'm particularly angry.
well, that's understandable. I can imagine that thwarting a murderer, it definitely takes a little bit of restraint to manage this instead of completely mutilating the corpse to the point of no return. But this is all very interesting, and I love to hear that you guys are out there doing great things in your adventures, even if something like this is a little strange, even for me. But I'm very interested in this piece. I don't know if that's the right term for this one, but yeah. So let's try to make a deal here. What can I do for you in exchange for this?
Ed just pulls out his greatsword and just chunk into the floor, and basically says, "I need this."
Whoa, whoa, whoa there, Edge. That's my trophy I spent money on. The least you can do is ask. Fuck's sake.
Just come close my door.
Well,
You
this
also got your
is
great sword away. Very
this is quite a find here, and as well as the okay. So let me ask, since I haven't thought to do that yet. What's with the manticore?
These two items were found in the haunted house. That one right there, the Mana's Core, was part of a magical trap that would be set on fire and attacked me.
He likes stuffed animals. I think he had a troublesome childhood.
Was it
Well,
alive
then
when
we
it did
all-
this to you?
No.
Maybe? I don't know. All I know is that when I went near it, it became on fire and attacked me. Then it immediately went back to being that.
We assume there's some type of magical enchantment. It's safer to say. Potentially with some type of mechanism involved. We didn't get much of a good look at it at the time. We were too concerned with more immediate threats.
All right, let me take a look, and he's gonna do his best to determine the nature of it.
Is Jareem there too?
Everyone's there, yes.
Okay. Because I'm gonna show him the site soon. Tell him about the flesh column.
Okay, nice. All right, so he rolls a 17 on his perception. He looks through it and he says, "That's funny. I don't see any kind of mechanism that would produce such an effect. You think maybe?" You know, you're right. This could be some kind of magic, or it could have been haunted. Where'd you find
It
it?
was in a haunted house, so I'm gonna go with haunted.
Oh, well, then it almost certainly was haunted. Has it done anything like this since you took it out of the house?
Thankfully, no. So then it would be rather difficult to carry around on fire, that is.
Well, that'll be an interesting tale to tell to visiting adventurers. Maybe I can convince someone to buy it and bring it back there. Tell them, hey, you know, if you need something set on fire, this is what you got to do. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So, as far as our arrangement, let's say one enchantment for each of them. You've already presented your greatsword. I'd be happy to work on that for you. If anyone else would like a little something done with one of their killing devices, then we can talk about it.
Right, but first question. The Amulet of Mighty Fists. I haven't made those yet, but I think they can be enchanted, because in the description it did mention it.
Well, yes, that's part of making the item is the enchantment. So, and given that he's the only one with the craft wondrous items feat, like I said, it's going to be whoever you, and for any other magic items that you want to make, if they're wondrous items, it's going to be whoever wants the item working with Jareem to craft it. But that's all part of making the item. I mean,
I could have sworn that it mentioned, as well as depending on which plus like modifier it is, it also gets another enchantment. Not 100% sure, but I just remember mentioning it.
I'll look again. I got a minute here. Amulet of Mighty Fists. This amulet grants an enchantment bonus of +1 to +5 on attack and damage rolls with unarmed attacks and natural weapons. Alternatively, this can grant special abilities. Okay, so yeah, you're either giving it the bonus or you're giving it the ability. It's not both.
Damn it. If no one else needs like their weapon enchanted, then I'm just gonna hold on to the Manicore for a while. You already have your rifle.
I have several weapons.
True, but right now we have party members that don't have any enchanted weapons.
Okay.
So, anyone?
Captain.
Anyone what?
Needs enchantments.
I have no idea. Kate just kind of looks around and goes, "What would I even enchant?"
You have a weapon, don't you? Surely. The longswords that we collected from the Space Stalkers.
No, correction. I meant I have too many ideas of things to enchant, and I haven't decided. Nor do I have the funds to do any enchantments.
Well, he's offering to do one in exchange for the two stuffed trophies.
He's doing one for everyone.
He's doing a one per item that, you know, he's doing 2 total. One of them is going to be Edge's greatsword, and the other is going to be whoever wants to have one done.
Oh, okay. Like that's what I'm saying. Like in character, I was talking and I was trying to play and trying to figure out if anyone else wanted before I just jumped on it.
Gotcha.
Level 1 enchant.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like anyone. Yeah, he'll do a +1 with a special ability like he's done for the others.
Actually, a question. Where did we get the unidentified bolts from? Again?
I do not remember.
I can look that up.
Because we had this. I think it was the
I'm gonna lie though, I'm kind of surprised we're only getting 1 enchantment for the Medusa.
Try to haggle him, maybe.
Oh, that's not Dino's place, because, not my specialty.
I mean, you're talking about, like, up to, like, a 5,000 gold item for a piece of taxidermy.
That's also true.
I don't think that's ridiculous. Yeah, you found some bolts on Ironbriar that they had appeared to be coated in some substance that nobody has identified yet.
Actually, then while we're at it, Edge will actually present them over to Orishel and basically say, by the way, do you happen to know what these are?
He says, sure, I'll take a look.
Particular type of coating on them I can't identify.
He'll do a spellcraft on those.
Okay, so
natural 20.
Nice.
He looks at the bolts and
He is confident, isn't he?
he says, "Oh yeah, I've seen this before. Drow poison."
Curious. I've never come to it myself. What's the effect?
Drow poison, if I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna look it up anyway just to check myself, but I'm almost certain drow poison acts as a sleep spell when it hits. Yeah, okay, so when anything that's coated in drow poison hits, the affected creature has to make a fortitude save. If they fail, they are unconscious for 1 minute. They get another save after that minute. If they fail again, it lasts for an additional minute. If they fail another save after that, then it lasts for several hours.
Is this something that Vorso would like to have? Edge will just offer it to him. He's like, it's yours to keep. I have no need for it at the moment.
He looks at it and he says, well, I could definitely make some mischief with these. I don't know that I have as much use for them as one of your own. But if you really don't want them, then I'll take them off your hands.
Any idea of price?
Price. Let's see here. Oh wow, these are actually more valuable than I thought. You've what, 10 of them?
Yes.
He looks at him, says 50 gold each.
50 gold each for 10, that's 500?
Yep.
Yeah.
Damn.
Very well then. You may have them.
He gives you a little nod and walks over to his little counter and he retrieves the coin for you.
Nice. Thank you very much. But it's not the matter on enchantments. Have you been able to figure anything out, friend?
Cade looks and says, I have a few different enchantments I would like to have, but if I could have any, I would like to, like, I slip out of the mithril chain shirt. I still have my snakeskin tunic on underneath. Put that down the counter, and I say, if possible, I would like to enchant this with the Deathless Enchantment. It says it's a +1.
Your chain shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that, I think. Let me go back.
Because in the magic armor table, it's a +1 thing.
Yeah,
For the
and
Deathless.
I'm pretty sure mithril chain shirt is just automatically masterwork, but let me double check that.
Yeah, from what I remember what you said it was, so if not, then I
Mithril
will.
shirt. Yeah, I mean, it has the properties of masterwork. It doesn't have any armor check penalty where it probably should. Yeah, I mean, it's made of mithril. I would say that yes, it's masterwork.
Okay.
So yeah, you'd be able to do that. So Deathless Enchantment. Okay.
Mm-hmm. The armor protects its wearer from harmful and negative and positive energy, including channeled energy.
Okay.
And it absorbs the first 10 points of positive or negative energy damage per attack that the wearer would normally take. And they have a 25% chance of ignoring negative levels from any attack. And it does not block healing of any kind.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so that he can do that.
Cool.
So he takes your chain shirt and edges greatsword, and he says, "All right then, that'll be greatsword for the Lamia and chain shirt for the Manticore. Pleasure doing business."
Hey.
Go ahead, Cade.
Cade's just really excited and looks at him and goes, "As also thank you. I hand him some of the Elfbane arrows, half of the ones I have, just to add more to his collection because I know he likes collecting things that are taboo."
He says, "Great, more things that will make elves angry. Just what I'm looking for."
Cade laughs and goes, "It's the only taboo thing I've found."
Yeah, he kind of says it with like a tongue-in-cheek tone.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then he looks up at everyone else and says, "Okay, well, is there anything else?"
I suppose I can tell.
I do have this haunted telescope.
Cade laughs at this.
All right, so you show him the broken telescope.
Yeah.
He takes a look at it. Let me roll for him. His perception. Okay, 21. He takes a good look at all the mechanisms that are inside of it, and he says, "Well, unfortunately, this is beyond repair."
Damn.
But this came from the same haunted house.
Yep.
All right. Well, if you don't mind, I'll give you a little bit of gold, and I'll keep it here, and it'll be another good story.
How much?
I can give you 50.
Yeah, why not?
He goes and gets it. And then Rob, you were asking about the scythe, right?
Yeah, so I'm gonna tell him the story of what was his name?
The scarecrow, the flesh golem in the shadow clock. So yeah, you tell the story of your harrowing fight with the scarecrow in the shadow clock. You conveniently leave out the part of the story where you stepped on a trap and stunned everybody, unless you want to include that. I just imagine Dream wouldn't disclose that.
I feel like Jim would absolutely disclose that.
Oh, actually, yeah, he would. He definitely would. So yeah, Dream, you you make a point to explain about how you stepped on a trap and stunned everybody
Yeah.
because you feel that it embellishes and makes the story more interesting. And Vorvashal is eating it up. He's thrilled that something that started out so poorly ended up going in your favor. He looks at the scythe, sees how massive it is, and says, "Yeah, well, this is quite a quite an item here. Um, is there anything you want from me in exchange? Because I don't think I have enough liquid coin to just take it off your hands."
Nothing expensive.
Yeah, because out of game, a large version of a weapon it costs double, so that means the sell price is also double. And a magical scythe is yes. So we're looking at probably. Yeah, like a sell price for this scythe would be like over 2,000 gold, and he just doesn't have that much on hand at the moment. So yeah, he looks at you, Dream, and he says, "Well, is there anything that I can do for you in exchange?"
That's this guy.
I don't know. I want to take a look at the potions.
Potions. Okay. He has a good amount of potions on hand. He mentions to you that he received another shipment of them yesterday. He says that he's got a little bit like higher level stuff this time around. He says he got a couple potions of cure serious wounds. He got a couple of fly potions, heroism potions, protection from energy, rage. Let's see, remove curse,
Or something that'll.
and water walk. What were you asking me? I'm sorry.
Is there like a charm potion?
Let me look on the potions list because it's a little more limited than just every single spell. Yeah, no, there's no like charm person or monster potion.
Okay.
I hear the theme song to Succession coming from upstairs, and that theme song is such a banger.
Yeah.
Because the new season came out today. Oh, Keen Edge is another. Although that's an oil rather than a potion.
All right. Well.
I can't really make out what you're saying.
I mean, what else would he have on hand? Like,
well, he's got. I know he has like a couple of different magic items on sale as well. Let me see here. He would have. Let's see. He shows.
Is anyone else enjoying my mom wow thing right now?
Let me look up what type of item this is. He shows you a necklace that is set with a it's a silver chain set with a bright blue gemstone. He says, "Well, have a look at this," and he doesn't explain to you what it does just yet, just because he knows that you're magically inclined. So if you'd like to make a spellcraft check to figure it out. Okay, it is the following. Actually, I'm gonna back up on the item description. I read the one that was off of the website when this other thing I'm looking at has it's a bit different. So in actuality, the gemstone is instead amber colored, and there appears to be a mantis trapped inside of it,
Ooh.
and that's what it does.
Ah. I like that. All right, I'm gonna take a look at other stuff. That's like.
Okay. He shows you a ring of feather falling. One of the other items that he's gotten in. He also has shows another ring, which this one appears as sort of a dark, sort of like steel ring that has a very dark, almost black gemstone set in it. Go ahead and spellcraft again if you want to figure this one out on your own. Why is there a fucking bra drawn on the map? That's what that looks like.
Not a bra. I'm not done with it yet.
It looks like a bra.
It does look like a bra.
Not done yet. I'm not. There you go. Hold on. I'm almost done. I'm almost done.
Excuse you. This is a family show.
This is now a horse.
Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about?
There are to be no titties drawn on my maps, please.
Yeah, apparently.
I'm not done yet.
We've already had our gratuitous fan service earlier with Kat and Kate taking a dip in the river. You know, we don't.
We did.
I can't fill this stuff in. So just
One per session, god damn it.
So this is called a Ring of the Grasping Grave. You can't see the map. Why does this token not have vision enabled? What the fuck? What happened to Roll20?
Nothing good. Nothing good.
Apparently, Roll20 tried being updated, and the update said nay. That's what I'm guessing.
Like, did this happen to everyone else's? No, it didn't. What the fuck?
What?
Dynamic
I'm very confused because I see a pentagram on the floor, and then I see drawings. I'm kind of wondering. Like, I'm assuming the pentagram is supposed to. Actually, it's not even a pentagram. That's a one.
Yeah, it's like a pentacle.
That's an octagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's supposed to be there. That's part of the floor, and Much Dog Very Wow is about to happen.
I'm glad that this is what happens when people are bored during the game.
It's taking forever.
Well, that's no one's fault really.
My
I mean,
students are gonna be so stoked. My lecture
role playing and
tomorrow.
doing stuff. So
Wait,
this is called a Ring of the Grasping Grave. It does the following.
I'm excited. Ooh,
My attempt at a D20.
nice.
I think
I don't know. I only see 1, 2, 3,
Probably
4,
where you-
5, 6, 7,
Well, you
8,
can't see
9.
the stuff on the
I'm
bottom.
gonna
I
make
only
an
see 10 sides.
I'm gonna make an addition to it.
Okay.
That one.
I am super excited because
Well,
tomorrow,
just in
not
case
only is
any
the lecture going to be
effects that
short,
might-
but my students get to hear me go on my Rosalind Franklin rant.
Okay, that ring's dope. Also cool, by the way.
It's like,
Who's
I'm
getting
so,
that ring?
He's just
What ring?
showing different new stuff to Dream.
Okay.
Oh.
I need a different
Oh.
color.
Dream might
That
be
ring is dope.
exchanging his scythe for something. So he looks at you and says, "Well, what do you think of that, friend?"
The periaptive health? That's awesome!
Yeah, I think. Wait, did you make the addition yet?
Did I do what?
You said you were making an addition to it, right?
No. I was saying I read the wrong description of what it looks like.
Oh,
He was making
That's all that was.
an addition to my drawing. That's what he meant.
Oh well, yeah, that too. That too.
I scrolled down. Look what I did.
I did do that.
I'm gonna take Ariat.
Many fails.
Okay.
You sound very proud of yourself.
Yeah, he goes ahead and hands you your new amulet. Takes the scythe. Now the thing is, you'll have to unequip the Sahedron medallion to wear this because it's the same slot. But yeah, you can always just switch them back and forth whenever you're feeling. He says, "All right."
My thing
What?
said the Mahedra medallion, and I have that.
Well, he has one too.
Oh shit!
You both have one.
Mine.
All right, so he says, "Okay, I'll make sure to get started on these right away. Probably the usual turnaround time for them." Then he looks at Urslan, who is pulling different masks out of her bag. And
I want to put it up more so the viewers can see it.
he just says, "Ooh, that looks interesting. What are all those?"
Well, remember I brought in this one and I pointed to the stalker's mask?
He nods.
Well, I'm just gonna, hold on. One second. That's that. I'm just gonna explain what they do.
Okay. All three of them?
Yeah, I'm gonna show all three of them so he knows what they do, and then I'll tell the story.
Okay. So you explain everything. You explain about where you got them from, what you had to kill to get them. Pointing out to Vorvashali that the Medusa mask came off of his taxidermied Lamia.
I'm gonna add on that he can, if he takes these off of me, he can put the Medusa mask on the taxidermized Lamia now.
He says, "Well, of course, I wouldn't want to have an incomplete set."
Yeah, right.
Well, this is altogether, again, quite a lot more gold than I have on hand. So, would you like to browse my wares, or do you want something enchanted?
Well, how many things can I get enchanted for all this?
That ultimately depends on what you want, but it's the sell price of all of those combined is quite a lot. So
I should mention that while this has been going on, Kat has been just like wandering around and browsing.
Okay. I just want to inspect you, bitch. There we go. I wanted to correct my. Oh my, that's a lot. I thought it would be more, to be honest.
So yeah, go ahead and you can you look at the enchantment list, or if you You want me to go through some of the other things that he has?
Cade's looking
Things,
for
and
any
then I need the
necklaces or
enchantment
whatever.
list because I forget the enchantment list.
Okay.
You could have done that the whole time. Drawing.
My decision. I like to dream. Give me that little, that thing that you get in Dairy Queen, or not Dairy Queen, Baskin Robbins, you pick it out of cake, and you flip through that booklet. Give me that. Thank you. Well, can you list what he has, for, Did you just send me the rings? I already have that open. I don't know what the enchantments are.
Well, I'm telling you,
Oh,
he can
perfect.
make him into any of those in the first table.
Sustenance.
Ring of Sustenance. Okay. So let's see. You only need 2 hours of sleep per day to gain the benefits of a full rest.
Yeah.
But it must be worn for a full week before it begins to work. So that's one thing to keep in mind. All right. So then, yeah, he'll do that, and then for the weapon enchantments, what do you want for the pepper box?
Did you list that somewhere up top?
Yeah, I can send you that list.
I know there's the armor enchantments, but I don't see the weapon ones. Oh, somebody just left.
He can do any of the +1 abilities.
See this one? +1. Shit. These are enchantments? Oh, there they are. I was like, are the +1 bonus or just like, oh, it's +1 weapon special abilities. Thank you.
Yeah, he can do any of those.
What was the other one that I wanted to put on? Was Keen? I think I was gonna choose Keen for the rifle. Right? That's the other one that I wanted.
Keen can only be put on.
Piercing weapons.
Oh, right. So then, yeah, I guess that can still be applied to range. So
Would
yeah,
would it still work even though it's piercing and bludgeoning, or would I have to pick a different one?
no, you could. It's got one of the two. So
Although Heartbeat is a pretty good, Heartseeker is a pretty good one too. Basically, it ignores concealment. But I think I want Keen so I could double the distance I could be. So yeah, Keen for the pepper box and sustenance for the ring. And then how much would I have left?
let's see. That would be. You'd have like another. I think like 5.5. That sounds right. Yeah.
All right, what does he have in the store?
In store, he's got he's got the other ring that I mentioned. He has a ring of swimming. He has various scrolls and potions, as I mentioned. He's got a few wondrous items. So I can roll those up quick.
Yeah, do that because if he has got a portable hole, I could have some fun.
I think I'm also gonna give him my short spear and my regular spear. Elements from it, and used by legendary ship.
Okay.
gold does Shell actually have on him right now?
I mean, not like a ton.
Not like 5.5k.
No, not that much.
You might get some more gold though if I buy some stuff.
Like the sell price of the scythe was like a little over 2,000. He didn't even have that. So, all right. So let's see. Let's roll these up here. All right. So the first item he has, it's a black. It appears to just be a black corset, but he says, I know it looks relatively simple, but this is quite magical, I tell you.
Oh.
He goes ahead and explains the item. It is this.
Britannia.
Oh, that's awesome.
Ah. Interesting.
So that's the first one. The second one is going to be... Okay, these are... he shows you, again, a pretty simple looking item. This is a pair of gloves. He says, well, do you do a lot of tinkering?
When I'm working on guns, yes.
Oh, well, this might be perfect for you. I'll send the description as he explains them.
There's like these little flies all around my room. It's really bothering me.
That's awesome.
It's basically like Mage Hand.
It is. Hey, there you go.
The thing is that these are this is a single use item.
Wait, like once I use it, it's gone?
Yeah, it's like a consumable. Like they're cheap as a result, but it's a single use pair of gloves.
I don't want a single use. I want something that's gonna last me a while.
The next thing...
It's really cool though.
It is, yeah.
It's just sad that it's single use. If it had like a recharge time where like you can use it once and then you have to wait an X amount of days, then that might be worth it, but I feel bad that it's only one use.
The next thing he shows you is a pair of boots. These boots are lined with thick fur at the top as well as on the inside. He explains that these are specifically made for cold weather, and with that season not too far away, that this is something you might want to consider.
I'm deciding between the corset and the boots. Is it like what season are we in right now?
Fall.
Okay. Will the boots affect me in non-winter months? Negatively, I mean?
No. Go ahead and for this last item, just because there's so many different things it could be, roll a d6 for me.
A 1. I failed. No,
Okay.
I know it's not a fail, but like if that was a damage or a roll to see if I do something, that's a fail right there.
Hold on, what the fuck is this? What did I just roll?
I don't know. What did you roll? is it worth anything? You know, I might have enough to get 2 things if it's 5.5k, because I'm. It's possible.
Okay, so he looks back towards his counter, and behind it, leaning up against some shelves, is a large rectangular object that currently has a sheet covering it. He removes the sheet, and there is an image of an angry-looking elderly man on it, as if it was a framed painting, basically, of this person. The painting itself, however, is somewhat. It gives the appearance of being somewhat animated. You can see that there is in the painting behind this man is a fireplace, and there is a roaring fire that is currently going in the fireplace.
It's this
Someone speak to it.
fruit, isn't it? I'm just gonna look at Borsha and be like, what is that?
He says, first of all, don't ask about how I got this or where I got it from. I don't know if I want to give that information. This came from someone who somehow finds things that are progressively creepier, and they always somehow convince me to take them. But
I would like to know who that is.
this is what this item is and what it does.
Actually, with the painted scene. The image reacts when questioned.
Oh, that's so cool. Kate just freaks out.
Properly, the image is a magical effect of no actual intelligence, but it's programmed with up to 10, 25 word verbal responses and can respond to questions if the responses seem appropriate.
He says, I don't know if I could, in good conscience, stick you guys with this thing. It's...
Can I just ask you the question before you put it?
Can I bribe Gorbashali to tell me how to find this guy?
He looks at Ursula and just says, suit yourself. Go ahead and talk to it. And he looks at Dream, and he says, you know, now that I think about it, you might vibe with this person that I'm referring to.
I'm with him, bro.
What do you want to ask the animated portrait, Ursula?
Did you?
What was that?
I'll check it out.
Who painted you? He the portrait just looks at you and says, everyone asks who painted me, but nobody asks why I was painted or how I'm doing.
That's too lifelike for me.
My life? What life? I'm a fucking painting.
Going to die.
And then you swear that you hear the sounds of like children coming from within the painting. And the guy turns around and he's just like, "Hey, shut up over there."
Kate just kind of goes, "What the fuck is happening?"
And Vorvashali looks back at Dream and says, on second thought, I'm not so sure that this guy clearly doesn't. He must secretly dislike me or something, leaving
No, please.
such rude magic items like this in my store.
Please, sir.
That all the
Tell
time.
me who this man is.
He's a traveler from a distant town, one that would take you probably the better part of a week to get to. Real kind of hole in the wall place. I think he said it was called Turtleback Ferry.
Town or store?
Town.
Turtleback Ferry. Alright, can Dream write that down somewhere?
Yeah, well, you recognize it as from Zanisha's letter that she mentioned it.
It's one of the places we need to head on the way to the fort.
Do you by any chance know his name?
It's funny. He always looks different every time he comes in here. But he always sounds the same and has the same mannerisms. I don't know if that he's ever even given me his real name, but I remember one time he had asked me to simply just refer to him as Eagle.
Eagle?
Eagle, yes, like the bird.
Okay.
You're an owl and he's an eagle. I don't know how much the gloves are, because the gloves are pretty cheap too. I'll just tell you everything. I'll take it.
He says, I've got a couple more things that you guys might be interested in. 1 second. And he grabs two items. He grabs a small sort of plastic pouch that has some dust inside of it, and the other item is a 1 foot square thin steel plate.
Wait, you said plastic? Don't you mean leather? They actually have able to make plastic in this world?
Sorry, what is it?
The good old plastic tree.
I mean, you're in a world with tons of magic. Like, I
guess. All right, fine, fair enough. But I feel, I don't know.
Wait,
Somebody feels a
what
little
is
bit
it?
of a
I'm
If
textile.
we can cast fireball, we can make plastic.
You know what? It can be leather. It doesn't matter. It's.
All right, fine. So what exactly is in it?
He says, well, this. He opens it up a little bit, revealing a sort of white substance that kind of looks like chalk dust.
It's
And
cocaine, isn't it?
he looks up. He says, and he looks directly at Dream when he says this. He's like, now, before you say anything, it's not drugs. But I will
Kate just
invite.
looks at the smirk.
I will. You know what? I can show this off a little bit. It can be a bit of a magic trick. So if I could have a volunteer from one of you to come and look closely at this dust.
Not it.
Kate just puts their face in it.
No,
That was gonna be like,
no. I already said it
gonna
first.
take a look, but okay.
Apparently Ursulin does it first. Ursulin just yeets Kate out of the way. Nope, my turn.
So,
Sorry, what do we have to roll to check it out?
well, he just wants someone to like look closely at the dust.
Okay. So I guess I roll. I'm like, I'm gonna roll something, damn it, to look at this.
All right, so yeah, all three of you step forward. Ursula and
I'm
Kat.
assuming it's perception. I have no idea.
Ursula and Kat. The longer you look at the dust, you notice that it begins to change a bit. The dust changes colors. It goes from white to gray, and then to like more like wacky colors like orange and like a bright purple. The dust also appears to alter its form a little bit. At certain moments, it appears to liquefy. At others, it appears to be more solid and sort of like compacted almost into like a more like a sugar cube than just like a pile of dust. Cade, you just go all in and put the dust all over your face, and
Yes.
Vorvashali just says, that's an interesting choice. Yes,
Cave just nosedived into it, just as like face plant.
he'll kind of like stare into your eyes and just say, I wonder, what do you desire? Now, since you willingly did this, you basically you communicate with him whatever it is that you desire. So I'll let you do that. What do you desire?
He just looks at him and says to continue to grow in strength and find who my father is. I'm not stupid about how my kind come into existence. And from what the small amounts I've been able to discern, it's someone that I definitely don't want to have on my bad side. And other than that, I have no idea. I don't know where to find him. I have a name and a reputation.
Okay, so you you begin to see yourself. This is sort of like an image that's playing in front of you. You see yourself becoming stronger by sort of vanquishing some more powerful foes. You see yourself killing several different kinds of beasts and other creatures. Most of them are much larger than you. You kill things like ogres and giants and other you see yourself briefly fighting a dragon, just various powerful creatures. Then the second image you see is yourself standing in front of a crowd of people, and with a snap of your fingers, they all are under your spell. The third image you see is your family crest for a fleeting moment, and then the last thing you see is an image of the man that you believe to be your father, but he's been transformed into some horrific abomination of a creature. And then as soon as that image fades, you snap back to reality.
I'm just gonna look at it for Charlie and go, what the fuck was that?
He goes, well, let me tell you. Yes, Mom Spaghetti. That's also the name of the item, Mom Spaghetti.
Kid just goes, so that wasn't real. That was just holy shit. Kay goes, I know that intended purpose isn't a drug, but that is definitely a drug. Dream! I start yelling as he's wandering around the store. Come check this out!
He then grabs, as you call Dream over, Vorvashali goes back into his like salesman mode, and he picks up the steel plate again, and he says, "Now, how many times have you all found yourselves needing to get across something, but you couldn't figure out how to do it?"
Yeah, that besides Chameleon Boy over here, me quite a few times.
He says, "All right then," and he sort of like slaps the steel plate, and it begins to expand. And he says, "Well, this'll fix your problems."
He just jumps up and down and goes, "Okay, this shit is awesome."
Yeah, he's got all like the wacky items today.
Why is no one else fascinated by this shit? Kay goes, "How much is the instant bridge?"
He says, "Well, this'll go for 7,000."
Okay. Kay just trails off and goes, "I may have spent too much money." Kay trails off and goes, "Do you have any necklaces or rings, perchance, that are cool abilities?" Kate trails off going, "I can't afford the giant bridge."
Oh, instant brain. What's this?
I would say perhaps keep it in mind for us in the future. We may come back for it. If you feel there need to sell it urgently, then you may do so. But I can see some use out of this.
Kate agrees.
All right, so that's everything he has for today.
What about the quartet, the gloves, the boots, and the painting?
You're taking
That
all
was
that
awesome.
stuff.
Yeah, how much is the corset? So I know.
The corset is, I think, yeah, you should still have enough for it.
Yeah, so I owe 700 gold, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, so
if that's
that's
all right. So yeah, you
because
pay.
5.5k minus everything, and it comes out to about negative 700.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds right. So yeah, if that's what you want to do, then you turn over the masks. Vorvashali immediately begins looking for wall space to hang them up on, as he always does when you bring him stuff. You give him the gold, and he gives you all of those items.
I just gotta figure out where to put them.
Yeah, and I gotta write out the slots for those too. That's a body slot. Obviously, the gloves are going to be hands. The boots are feet, and the portrait doesn't have a slot. It's just an item you can carry around.
Do I put any of these in the AC item or no?
No, they don't. None of them give AC.
Okay.
Vorvashali looks at everyone and again says, "Do you need anything else from me?"
Kate just says, "Yeah, if you have, keep in mind if you see any cool rings or necklaces, I'm on the lookout for enchanted stuff of the kind."
Will do. Those items tend to come and go pretty quickly, so I'm sure I'll have more and different ones next time you stop in.
Kate smiles and says, "Thank you for all your help," and looks at everyone else and saying, "So that was eventful. What do you guys want to do now?"
I need to go drop off the gift.
The
Well,
certain
just
store I need to visit.
well, actually, hold on, just really quick. Tim, the enchantment that I got from him. Which one was more expensive that he was able to do? Was it Keen Edge that we had said was more expensive, or was it Bane?
I think they're the same price, but let me check again.
Oh, I get that. That's fair. Have him do the more expensive one.
Uh, okay, I don't even have the page open. Let's see here. Magic items, weapons. Let's see, Bane. Yeah, Bane and Keen are the same price.
What do you guys think? What should I get now? Specific enemy or reduce the crit cap? Probably Keen
I'd
then.
say, well, it depends. You want to go for crit? I'd say we go for key. But if you want damage, there's other elementally damaged enchantments.
I think let's go for Keen for now, just so that I can have a bit more diversity. We still don't know when we're
Alright.
going to deal up against my dragon friend yet. Or any other dragon-like creature, really. So Keen, Adamantine, Greatsword.
Alright, so Keen enchantment. Got it.
Do I need to change anything else besides the name on the... It's the crit range. It goes to 70?
The crit range currently is... yes, that would become 17.
Thank you.
And then
Edge critting on a 17. Hot dog.
it would also be... Here, I'll just to denote. It is indeed magical. The attack bonus remains the same. It would be a +1 to damage. And yeah, so he'll get started on all those enchantments. Greatsword, Pepper Box, Mithril Shirt, and or wait,
Thank
no,
you.
there was only 3. I'm already. That was a lot. Oh, anyway.
Yeah. That's a lot of shopping.
So, where to next? I'm sure each of you has places you want to go.
Can I get the sheet that Voraceli is using to cover the painting?
You're sounding like very echoey right now, and I.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Let me try disconnecting and reconnecting.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over and check on Shayless. See if
Okay.
it's hatched yet.
Same.
Hello?
Yeah, you sound a lot better now.
Okay, I
Pat's
wanna
gonna join them?
grab the sheet that Voraceli was using to cover the painting.
Okay. And what do you want to do with it?
I want to cover the painting.
Oh, you're gonna take. Yeah, he says, "Oh, how silly of me! I should have just given you this to go along with it."
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. That is gonna be Dino, Edge, to the general store. Kat, you're going with them, or are you going somewhere else?
No, Cat's gonna go with them.
Go there. Urslan goes to the Rusty Dragon.
Despite what's been going on, Cat's still a little bit nervous about Gino and Shayless being together.
Okay. K Dream.
I'm gonna go see if any other stores would have a ring or necklace that would be cool for me to purchase. Other than that, pretty set for Sandpoint. I'm gonna go. Besides going back to the end, which I feel like we'll all do.
Remembering your knowledge of everything going on in Sandpoint and all the stores, you realize that the Feathered Serpent is probably the only good place for magic items.
Thought.
Let me just scroll through real fast just to make sure I'm not forgetting something, but I don't think anywhere else is going to have, especially like rings and trinkets like that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, but you remember that the weekly market will be happening in like the center of town tomorrow as well as on Star Day.
Sweet.
So
Okay,
there's
so
a
I have
good-
a chance.
Good chance you can track something down there.
Cool.
So for now, I'll put you at the Rusty Dragon as well. And Dream, what do you want to do?
I guess I'm gonna go back to the dragon.
All right,
I also
cool.
want to go back to the Rusty Dragon.
Yeah, I already put you there. They
I can see him now.
I do not see a dark screen. I see a normal screen. With
mine's
me
dark.
at the end.
all right. So Big Chomper, gotta adjust that on the map. Cat is there and Edge is there.
Ah, thank you.
So you walk into the general store. Shayless is behind the counter as usual.
I'm gonna approach Shayless and ask if she has
I thought you were going back to the. You went back to the tavern.
Oh yeah, sorry. I meant to say Mako. My bad.
But yeah, I'll run that as soon as we're done here. So yeah,
I got confused. That's my bad.
you guys all walk into the general store, the three of you and Chomper. Again, Shayless is behind the counter. Gives you all a little wave as you walk in. Dino has gone through the wall.
I'm trying to fix my thing because I don't see anything.
God, what the fuck happened to these tokens?
Murdered.
I mean, it says
Who
you can
murdered
see.
my tokens?
It says you can see.
The system is strange. I might talk to you about it after this is done, because even I was looking at my own, and it's like, we'll get to that later.
It says cat can't see either. What the fuck? Oh wait,
Should I just remove my token?
No. I swear something on Roll20 got fucked up when they fully converted everything to the new dynamic lighting. I feel like that's got to be it.
Did, but we'll talk about it off screen.
Okay, sounds good. So, Shayless greets everybody, and says, "Good to see you guys are back. What do you need?"
How's the training going?
Not too bad. I've taken a couple of trips outside of town. And I'm still alive, so that's promising.
Just say
It
safe.
nudges. The bar.
So, what have you guys been up to?
Killing Medusas.
Among other things.
That's exciting. Anyone get turned to stone?
No, not yet. Although
Damn
this
bitch
one's
focused
taking-
my dinosaur, but she sucks.
She's dead. That's all that matters right now. How's the situation in town been? Everything all right?
Yeah, things have been pretty quiet here since you guys left. There haven't been any additional murders or really any crimes. Kind of strange. Usually at least something happens, but it's been a pretty boring last few days.
Should be thankful for that. For now,
Oh yeah,
I'd
the
say
puppeteer behind all that's gone, so...
one
Woohoo!
of them is. We still have the other to worry about.
The other is 100 miles away, it's fine.
We may have a lead on the cause of the Skin Shaw murders, but we'll need some time in order to understand the full details of it. In the meantime, I would say just occupy yourself the best you can and keep an eye out for anyone unusual.
Okay, I will. My family, my parents, they're still kind of out of it. The shock of losing my sister hasn't really subsided much for them, but I'm doing my best to just keep the family business afloat in the meantime.
Business is failing. Why is that?
Well, I wouldn't say failing, but someone's got to run the store.
This is true, yeah.
And my parents are both just beside themselves still, and they haven't really even been back in this place since it happened. So it's just been me.
Oh, that sucks. How's the egg going?
I mean, can't complain too much. It's pretty nice outside, and had a few of the usual customers have stopped in, so it was good to see them. You guys just get back today?
Yep.
More or less. We'll be leaving soon as well, unfortunately. Yeah, business to take care of. Tell me, have you heard of anything... What have you heard about Fort Rennick? And, what was that other place called? Like, out of...
Turtleback Ferry.
Yeah, Turtleback Ferry.
Shayless, she thinks for a moment, and she says, well, truth be told, I don't know a whole lot about either one of those places. I know that Turtleback Ferry was at one time it was a pretty hot spot for gambling types. There have been different attractions in that small backwater of a town that have been enjoyable for those who like to take large monetary risks. Not really my scene.
Would you
Fort
say?
Rannick, I don't really know anything about it.
Mm,
Sounds important though.
mm. Very well then. Either way, thank you, and take care of yourself. Do we have any other business here? Best we move on, otherwise.
Hey, you guys go ahead. I'll catch up.
Edge will leave then and head over to where they need to go.
All right. If you don't have anywhere else that you're like really trying to stop at, I'll just move you back to the tavern for now.
Yeah, fair enough.
Kat, anywhere you want to go? Like,
Kat
I don't know.
to go visit Sava.
Yeah, that was actually gonna be that's what I thought you were
Yeah,
gonna
she's
say.
like she went to hang out. It's like, okay, Dino, stop trying to fuck Shayless. I'm good.
All right. So Edge leaves, Cat leaves, leaving.
I yell, if I hear that you've been screwing around with that blacksmith, I'm gonna be pissed.
You hear a whisper in your head. You're one to talk.
Cat's just gonna look at him and be like, the fuck? We're just friends. What is wrong with you?
That's what they all say.
He did say him and Shayless were just friends.
Bro, we have archery competitions. You want to come with?
Later.
Cat's like, all right. Secretly relieved that he didn't come with, but she's not gonna show it.
Shayless, after you leave, Shayless looks over at Dino and says, "Well, I don't think there's any worry about my parents showing up today, but truth be told, I don't know if I'm in the mood."
Don't worry about it. How's the egg going?
How's the what?
Egg.
The egg.
Oh yeah,
The
that
dinosaur egg.
right. Jesus Christ, I forgot about that.
Guanodon egg.
Shayless just says, "Yeah, I've got it. I've got it like next to a lantern in the back, but I've had to really take care to hide it sometimes, just in case one of my parents decides to stop in."
Fair.
Don't
I'm
really
showing
want
it to me real quick.
them to find out that there's another dinosaur on the loose in their store. But yeah, sure, I'll go get it. And she goes to the back. Takes about a minute, comes back. She sets it down on the counter. There's like a black cloth covering it, and she removes it, and there before you is the egg, pretty much as it was when you brought it to her. She says, "Yeah, I mean, I think I've been doing everything right. I've been making sure it's warm and about as well taken care of as I would know how to take care of an egg, which is to say, not much."
I've been feeding
but-
the egg.
You don't feed an egg.
Are you there?
No, I'm not, but still.
Shayless looks at you and just says, "You're fucking with me, right?"
Yeah.
She's like, "I'm not that stupid. You don't."
It was worth a shot. I met some pretty gullible people back in my day. Cough, cough, cat.
Cat's not there, so obviously can't hear that. But I am insulted on her behalf. Just saying, out of character.
Shayla says,
So can I make a
Shayla is like, "Really? Is she that gullible? I don't know. It doesn't strike me as being gullible."
She spent like 100 gold on smut. It's bad.
I don't see the connection between that and being gullible, but
Long story.
if I'm not going to shame anyone for what they're into.
True, but she's my party member, and I'm allowed to do that.
I mean, I've read some of that in my day.
Yeah.
Can I make a quick check to see about how much longer it's going to take for the egg to hatch?
Yeah. Roll nature.
All right. And a guidance 28.
It's
And
moving along, but as it's only been, although to be fair, you don't necessarily know how far along it was when you took the egg, but it's been a few days since, and it is everything has been progressing along as it should. Right. Um, you estimate probably a couple weeks before it hatches.
all right, the egg looks good, Shayless. In about 2 weeks, you are gonna have an iguanodon.
Bit me in the face.
Shayless goes like a little wide-eyed for a moment, and she says, "Well, I'd better figure out a way to prepare then. What do they eat?"
Hmm. What do they eat?
Wow.
I know they're
Chopper,
herbivores, but I forget exactly what they eat. Do they like herbs? Do they like shrubs? Do they like
Uh,
leaves? Do they like melons? I don't remember.
What
I
do
mean,
iguanas eat?
if I remember correctly, iguanodons are herbivores.
They are herbivores. Yeah,
So
they
they typically want like leafy vegetables. Um,
yeah, they let's I gotta go to fucking Wikipedia for a Pathfinder fucking question. Um let's see here. Um so it's been suggested that iguanodons eat plants that are known as horsetails. They're kind of like tall stalks that have sort of like thin nettle like leaves. Um, they eat like things off of like conifer trees. Um, and yeah, really just any sort of like tall leafy type of tree or shrub is probably okay for it to eat.
All right, so mostly tree leaves and shrubs. This little guy's not gonna be very picky.
huge.
Although you want a
Shayla's
better example of what it looks like, I can show you.
Shayla's nods and says, "All right, maybe we'll make a stop over at Pillbugs. Maybe he's got something. I know he likes to grow plants for his own uses, um, but perhaps he can spare some that he hasn't already processed."
It's a good idea.
I sent a picture
Indeed.
on Pathfinder.
Oh, the Discord.
Yeah.
However, if you want a better idea of what an iguanodon looks like, I
That's
can
useful,
summon
yeah.
one for you.
It's like it's a size comparison of an iguanodon.
Maybe we do that outside.
Of course, I'm not gonna summon one inside. It would like cave the building if I did that.
I mean, listen, you had this one over here stand guard over the basement while we were doing the nasty. So I don't know what you're capable of. You could you could very easily summon that inside. Although I suppose I do trust you for your word.
Yeah, if we go outside real quick, I'll show you.
All right, so then yeah, you all step outside. You go ahead and take the time to summon an iguanodon, and she is
4th level slot, and it's a young one, so it's a large sized.
okay. So it's about the same size as Chopper. She takes a look at it and says, "Is this as big as it gets?"
Oh no, he gets a bit bigger.
Right then.
Panic.
In fact, now I remember, I can just wild chip into one. Hey, I'm gonna do that. They are huge sized.
Panic.
She looks up at you and says, I better get my parents, like, snapped out of this because I don't I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep working here with one of these.
I'm gonna go ahead and transform back.
Potentially terrorizing the town while I'm in here.
Case is
Relax,
laughing hysterically.
iguanodons are docile. They're not going to rampage whenever they feel like it.
I I still don't know about all this, but I do appreciate that you're doing this for me.
Don't worry about it. Once that little guy hatches, it's all gonna make sense.
If you say so.
Ollie, come.
I got so confused for a second. I was like, oh, what?
My
then I
dog
realized
is
you said-
scratching at my mom's door.
No, I realized you said Molly. At first, I thought you said Allie, and I was like, what? I'm right here. What's happening?
Besides, don't worry about it. By the time it gets anywhere near that size, be more than ready to set out on the world on your own.
Yeah. I've been thinking more and more about that lately. The training's really helping. It's kind of inspiring a bit to see everything that you and your friends have done, and the more I think about it, maybe that's what I'd like to do, at least for a little bit.
Yay.
Entering
Because
lifestyle is definitely fun, but be careful. Even my party members have gotten themselves into death's door once or twice. Not for the faint of heart.
like I said before, someone's got to stand up for the women in this town.
I'm gonna lean over and whisper, between you and me, I'm pretty sure that most of the men need some help too.
Yeah, but they need help for other reasons. And those reasons affect the women as well. So that's what I'm concerned with for right now.
Oh, you get that strong, it's your own decision to do with your strength.
Yeah, it is. She says, well, I better put this egg back. I don't want it to go cold. And she heads off and does that. Returns about a couple minutes later. She takes a little bit longer this time just to make sure it's all like situated properly. She says, so 2 weeks, huh, for that egg, like you said?
Yep.
All right, well, that's how long I have to get my parents out of this mess that they're in. So I'm going to go focus on that. I'll see you around.
Good luck.
Now we move over to Sava's
And
Armory.
I'm gonna head over to the blacksmith as well.
Okay. Yeah, they really did fuck with all the maps in this transition. It's so annoying. Okay. So
Wait, no! Come here!
you go to the Red Dog Smithy. That is over there. So over at Sava's, Cat, you walk on in. Sava is behind the counter. She's polishing a sword when you walk in. And she, as soon as she sees you, she puts it down and walks over to you. And she seems pretty excited to see you. She says, what have you been doing the last few days? It's been a while.
I went to Magnamar, and I actually had a pretty good week. I went to Magnamar, and we killed a Medusa, and I don't know if I was hallucinating or what was going on, but I briefly got to control a storm, so that was fun. And also, I have a horse now.
That's a
Oh, and
lot.
I said I had a busy week, and
I'm
of course,
kind of jealous.
Hey, just this is we're at the bar, correct? Just clarifying.
You're all at the bar, yeah. Dino went to
Yeah,
the
so-
smith, and just Cat's here at the armory.
Smith,
Okay.
God damn it, I meant the armory.
Oh, you meant the armory. Okay, I'll move you here
Yeah.
then. So yeah, you would be like, I'm not gonna move you here right away. I'll move you here, but I'm not gonna put you on the map right away. You're because you would have been a bit
Yeah,
behind.
just let me know when I arrive.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Sava is just like floored by all of these things that you've done.
unfortunately, I'm not going to be here long. We got to head to Sandpoint soon, but
You're in Sandpoint.
or not Sandpoint. We have to head to Riddleport soon.
Riddleport. What? Why would you want to go there?
There's this Brotherhood of Seven, and they're fucking around with shit, and somehow this became our responsibility. I don't know why, but now that it is, I'm getting money from it, so I'm not gonna say no.
Well, money is money. That's.
I still want that crossbow.
Yeah, the crossbow.
Yep, that's why I keep coming here all the time. Eventually, I'm going to wear you down. You're gonna give it to me.
Well,
you know I'm kidding, right? Like, you do know I'm just teasing you. I do enjoy talking to you as well.
of course.
You seemed kind of sad for a minute. It's like, no, I enjoy our talks with you. I'm joking about just coming for their crossbow.
Well, it's still here. Let me grab it for you. And she goes, grabbing a chair and getting up on it to.
Oh, you don't have to do that, and you're gonna hurt yourself. Get down.
No, I insist. And she
Oh my god.
pulls it off the top shelf. And it's still in just as pristine condition as ever.
Oh my god, you didn't have to do that, but since you already have, gimme.
She laughs a little bit as she hands it over for you to look at again. She says, "Yeah, well, the still the same price. 2400 and
Cat's gently stroking it. It's like, one day you will be mine. Wait, 2400 gold, right?
yeah.
Right.
And
Cat's like, one day you will be mine. And hands her back and be like, I swear, when all the Seven Brothers nonsense is done, I'm gonna come back for it. I don't, but we'll see. Because it pays, but it doesn't pay that well.
I have some out of game thoughts on this, but I'm gonna hold off for now.
I'll explain my reasoning later.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, you look at it longingly. It's still got the same dark wood and ivory stock. There's still the name Vensaya that's been etched into it. She says, it's funny. The person who sold this to me was headed to Riddleport when they brought it here.
Sorry, what?
Yeah. I just remembered as soon as you mentioned you wanted to go there. Yeah, the person who brought this in and sold it to me, they were on their way to Riddleport, and I remembered that I couldn't help thinking that a weapon like this probably would have been useful there.
Wait, why were they headed to Riddleport, did they say?
Something about meeting up with some kind of contact. I don't know. It all sounded kind of fishy. There's Riddleport is it's almost a lawless city. There's a lot of crime and gratuitous violence and gratuitous sex and gambling and basically you name a vice and it's in Riddleport.
I mean, I'm a pirate. I think I'll be okay. Or I was a pirate. I kind of don't have a ship.
Oh well, you know, if you still got any of that left in you, you'll fit right in. It's
Oh, trust me.
all kinds
Besides,
of.
have you met the people I hang out with when I'm around here? Like, I'm with a freaking dinosaur. I didn't thought dinosaurs were dead. I think I'll be okay.
Mm, I mean, I've
As long
seen
as Dino stops screwing, like, shop maidens, that'd be nice.
I've seen Riddleport.
Ah.
I've seen Riddleport chew up and spit out many people, but yeah, I think you're right. You'll probably be okay.
Yeah.
At this point, Dino arrives.
Yeah, well, Cat respond. Well, Dino's right. Cat's response to that's like, well, of course I'll be okay. I still have to beat you in an archery competition. We still have to have our archery competition. I'm gonna win.
Yeah, that is true.
You okay? You seem kind of disappointed or upset. Is something wrong?
Oh, no, not really. Just
Look, I mean, I know you don't.
kind of wish you'd be sticking around longer.
I mean,
Aww.
can I? Oh, hey. Maybe you need something. I was just talking about you.
Sure you were, Cat.
No, really, I was just talking about. Sava was warning me about Riddleport because I've never been, and I said, well, freaking dinosaur.
True, but Magnamar has, or at least had a Medusa practically running the place. Can't be that bad. Riddleport can't be that bad.
Her collar's still drying.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully this won't take too long, and I'll be back soon. Um, but I'm having fun exploring. I kind of missed it.
Yeah, well, I certainly hope you hurry back. It's there aren't as many any bright faces and pleasant interactions in this town when you guys aren't here.
Are you saying I'm your favorite customer?
No. Yes.
I'm just teasing you. Man, you always take everything so seriously. I know, like I said, I know we haven't known each other that long, but we've had a pretty good we've been getting along pretty well. I thought by now you'd know when when I'm just kidding.
You kind of trailed off at the end there. I didn't catch what you said.
I said I figured by now you'd know when I'm just kidding.
I've never been the best at reading people.
Hey, don't worry, I'll be back soon, and who knows? Maybe I'll bring back a gift? Huh? Huh? And Cat's kind of like jokingly poking her. Like, huh?
Well, if you do intend to bring something back from Riddleport, I would imagine that the story of how you acquire whatever item it is will be just as exciting as the item itself.
But of course. Speaking of which, I do need some more arrows.
Oh, how silly of me. Yes. How many?
How many you want to give me? For give me, I mean which I will pay for.
Well, I've got plenty. I've got all different kinds of bolts.
Alright, so do you have any more of those poison boats that I got last time? Or a couple of weeks ago? Was it weeks?
Yeah, I've still got some of the with the thistle bolts, or
Yes.
yep, still have those. Let me see here. So yeah, these as you remember, 1 gold each.
Okay. How many do you? So I'll take 20 of those.
Okay, no problem. She wraps those up.
And I'll take. Do you have 20 regular crossbow bolts?
Yep, she's got those 2. Those are let me see here. Those are going to be 20 bolts for that's 2 gold for the 20.
Okay, so it's 40 gold. Sorry, I just want out of character. It's 40 gold total for the crossbow bolts and
No, it's
20 gold for the and
it's
20 gold for the thistle.
20 gold for the thistle bolts, and then every 10 regular bolts is 1 gold. So it's 2 gold for 20 of them.
Got it. So total, I'm paying right
22.
now 22 gold.
Yep.
Okay, I just wanted to double check. What other type of crossbow bolts do you have? Or what other type of bolts do you have?
I got some acid bolts, some fire bolts.
Ooh.
Recently got some drow poison bolts in. Got some incendiary bolts. Really got a bunch of them.
Cat has the look of like a kid in a candy store. She is immensely excited about the variety of bolts. She's like, "You've been holding out on me."
Says, yeah, I've even got this other new thing, and she opens up a small box containing crossbow bolts that the arrow tips almost look like the tips kind of almost look like barbed wire.
Oh, what are these?
Well, these, as they are the aptly named barbed bolts, you won't be able to shoot these quite as far as some of the others, but these are very, very good at grabbing a hold of things. So out of game, these your range increment is reduced to 30 feet with a barbed bolt, but it gains the grapple property, which is on a successful critical hit. You get a free combat maneuver check to grapple your target.
So out of character, can I use this instead of a grappling hook? Like, let's say I wanted to like raise a rope. Let's say I wanted to tie a rope to the end and shoot to climb over something. Would I essentially be able to use it as a grappling hook?
I would say yes, but it wouldn't be able to hold like much more weight beyond like yourself and the things you're carrying. Like it's not going to be like, it's not going to be like
So
super
like,
strong.
yeah. So if we were used it, it would have to be like one at a time or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say so. You'd be like firing one at a time for each person that you want to send across with a grapple hook type maneuver.
All right. So have you tried using any of these before?
Some of these I've tried here and there. I mean, not for a while. It's been a bit since I've been out adventuring, but these barb bolts I've never even seen these before. These are new to
How about
me.
this? I will take a bit of everything, so that way I can try it out and report back to you whether or not they are worth restocking.
Okay. So about how many of each then?
Let's see. How many do you have in stock?
Each box of them that she has contains 20 bolts.
Okay.
She has some more than others, but there's 1 box of the barb bolts, 1 box of incendiary bolts. There is a box of like another box of the thistle bolts.
All right.
There's
Well,
there's
I already
also
got.
there's another box that she has like down on the floor uh by her feet, and she says, here's one more box that I haven't opened yet. Let me break this out and see what's in it.
Let's. It's
Um,
present time.
yeah, she opens the box, and the bolts look like normal crossbow bolts, but there's a there's like almost like an intoxicating, like, good smell coming from the box.
Is there a check I can make to see if I know what is on these?
Spellcraft.
Okay, I should have spellcraft, or I should be trained in spellcraft. I am. Sweet.
Uh, Dino, you're actually going to be glad you're here to see this, because this would be very beneficial for you indirectly. These are pheromone arrows, or bolts. The benefit is any creature that has the scent ability gains a +2 to attack and damage rolls made against a target that's been marked with a pheromone arrow.
Oh shit!
This effect lasts for 1 hour or until the target spends 1 minute bathing themselves.
Cat's gonna go. Oh, are these pheromone arrows?
Sav is like, the what now? I've never heard of those.
Oh, sorry. I checked to see what's on, like what spellcraft is on these. It looks like these have a pheromone on them, so that anything that can use like scent to track is going to be more attracted to them. So this is awesome because we have Dino, come here, check these out.
Sava takes
What happened?
Sava takes one look at Chopper, and she just says, "You know what? These are on the house. You'll love these."
Are you? No, I can't do that to you. You have a business to support.
I can't think of any of my customers that would have any use for this. Truly, I don't think anyone that shops here can benefit like you can from these. I
Cat
insist,
just looks at
take
Dino
them.
knowingly. It's like anyone you know yet.
Look, you're already essentially
For
doing
now.
me a service in sort of being like a guinea pig and reviewing these things for me. Take
All
them.
right.
I insist.
Thank you. I don't know what to say other than thank you so much. And I guess with that, I'll take 10 each of everything else
Okay.
that I didn't already buy.
All right. So let me write this out, and we can total up the price.
Sorry, I'm laughing because I had my planner in front of me, and I had made a note that like I was covering geometry on an exam, and I put it for under the today I am grateful for. So I read today I am grateful for geometry, and I'm like, what?
So do you want everything I mentioned, or like just the cheaper stuff, or?
No, everything.
All right.
Remember, she agreed to test some of these for Sava.
All right. I only asked because some of these are, it's gonna add up.
I think I have the gold for it because I only used 22, right?
Yeah. I mean, you probably do.
I 100% have the gold for this.
Okay. Cool.
Wait, and also apparently I've been mismarking my gold. You might need to help me fix my money because apparently I've been putting my gold pieces into my copper pieces. So, if you can help me fix that at some point. Sorry, out of character. If you can help me fix that at some point.
I can. Yeah, I see this here. Right. So I think. Hold on. Let me do a little bit of quick math here, just because I remember the amount of copper you got from the last thing.
Yeah.
So. Right. So let's see. It should be that much copper, and then this should be adding that number. Okay, I think this is correct. But we'll just go with it for now.
Yeah, I think that's right. I just realized I was looking. I'm like, oh, that's not right.
Yeah. So we'll go with that. I will total all these up, and let's see here. I really dislike Roll20 chat box sometimes. It's so hard to like select something on here. Okay. And is that everything? I think it's everything. Yeah, it's everything. So that's everything that she's going to give you. Like I said, the pheromone bolts are on the house, and let's see, that's
she only has 5 draw poison bolts. That's cool.
yeah. Let's see, it's 100. Oh wait, no. Okay. Some of these prices are for 1 bolt, and some of them are for multiple bolts. So again, more math. Let's see, 5 plus. Okay, and then. All right, and total for all of these is going to be 1,000.
Okay. Cat pays.
All right, awesome. So you now have all of those bolts. And in combat, of course, be sure to let me know which one you're using, if any.
Yeah.
And she says, well, great. I'm looking forward to hearing back about your experience with all of these different ammo types. So is there anything else you need?
Cat is kind of like gleefully holding her arrow.
You trailed off again.
Sorry, Cat's making like happy squealing sounds at all the arrows, and she's taking a look at them. She's like, no, I'm good. I'm just so excited.
Sava then looks over towards Dino and says, well, it's good to see you too, of course. What do you need?
What
Dino?
you need?
Sorry, mic was off. Saying, nothing much. Just want to let you know that the armor looks great on Bigger Chomper. Look at him in all his glory.
Awesome, glad you like it.
Please tell me that Chomper is like modeling it.
I mean, he has like a giant weaponized grill. He has an elven cloak, and he has the Hell Knight leather armor. I imagine he's looking pretty badass.
He's too sexy for his shirt.
Classic. And also, I came down here to make sure Kat's not doing anything she's not supposed to. That's all.
I'm sorry. When do I ever act inappropriate?
When do you act appropriate?
90% of the time. Screw you. I'm sorry. I'm not the one fucking shopkeeps.
She's never
Not
gonna.
yet. You're not anyway.
Sava gives some serious side eye. And then she looks over at Kat and says, "All right, you're gonna have to explain this to me. Which one?"
She looks so Shayless.
That's not surprising.
I'm sorry. Does Shayless have a reputation?
You could say that.
Oh ho! I'm sorry. It's like, remember, I'm new here. I need the scoop. Give me the details.
Well, remember all the things I said about Riddleport?
Yeah.
Yeah, she, from what I've heard, she put some of them to shame.
Ho ho! I don't think
Yeah.
judging by my interactions with her, I don't think her father knows.
I'd be surprised if he knew anything. Honestly, he's well. I mean, I shouldn't make fun of him. He's been
He's
he's
been
been
through
in
a lot. I
he's been in a
know.
really bad state since. Well, I mean, you know what happened. You saw it.
Yeah.
Nah,
And
he's always been like that.
he's also kind of sweet. A little clueless, but kind of sweet.
Yeah, right.
I'm sorry.
He's
He
not a
just
bad.
doesn't like you because you fucked his daughter.
He's not a bad
He's
guy.
always bitchy.
He just has anger issues.
Ooh.
But as long as he's in a good mood, he's great. I promise.
As long as he's in a good mood.
Well, I
Cat
mean,
kind of
wouldn't you
cat
say that about yourself? You know, if you're in a bad mood, I would imagine you'd be sicking your dinosaur after people, and that they wouldn't like
Actually,
that.
Dino, I've seen Dino in a bad mood, and he never sicks anybody. They do something to him. If he does, when he's angry, it's usually jokingly or playful. Chomper just looks at him and says, "Bro, no."
That's good.
See, it's fine.
Yes, it's fine that Chomper is maturer than you.
Good to hear that heroes don't forget how to be heroes.
Name one situation that I've ever been immature.
I'm sorry. We're still
I
kind of
mean,
paying for the wreck that you
I
did the
mean,
last time we were here.
I mean, you did.
Last time I checked, that was a very mature thing to do. All right.
You did.
Only Ed was
You
here.
did kill two
Only
people
Ed.
off of dropping a tomato on Ursulin's head, but that's none of my business.
I swear, Dino, if you make me lose my gold, I'ma murder you.
I was
And
using
Chomper will help.
it.
I will use one of these pheromone arrows on you.
Oh no, I'm so scared.
And then that's when the charm comes out against Chomper, and then it
Oh no, if she ever turns my dinosaur, it's war.
then it goes south from there.
Yeah, you don't
I
have
mean,
your
fair.
dinosaur on your side. You're not going to win that war well.
The reason Magmore happened was because things escalated very quickly.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, I'd say that's accurate. Sava then just says, "Yeah, I mean, look, I shouldn't speak ill of that family. They've been through way too much, but yeah, I mean,
you know I'm not going to go around telling anyone anything. I barely know people in this town. You're the only person I come to regularly see.
Shails'
than,
reputation
like-
precedes her. That's
Like,
all
you're
I
the only
gotta say
person I
about
come
it.
to regularly talk to, other than the people I hang out with, and the barkeep at my inn, and the bookseller. But that's mostly for other.
Oh well, now you're just making me feel special, and
Oh, you know you're special.
I'm very special.
Anyway, speaking of that, I have not eaten since I've gotten back in.
Yeah, I was probably gonna end after this anyway, because I assumed everyone was going back to the tavern after this.
Oh, okay. So, in character, I was like, so I have not eaten since I've gotten back in town. So, do that, and see you when I get back. Okay?
Oh my god, I thought you were talking about out of character that you haven't eaten in like hours.
No, I've been eating out of character. I've been eating as we're doing this thing.
Well, good. I'm glad you're sustaining yourself.
In character, I haven't eaten since I've gotten back into town, so I'm gonna go do that.
All right then. Well, I'll see you around.
See ya.
Yeah.
All right.
Because we're outside, I'm gonna like poke Cat's cheek and say, "Look at you being romantic."
What the hell are you talking about?
For starters, I've never seen you ever turn down free stuff, or at least try to turn down free stuff.
She does good business, and she was the first person to actually cut me a deal, and I still feel bad for Ursulin basically stealing her guns.
Look at you feeling bad for people.
I do have a conscience.
To be fair.
Just saying, that's how it starts. First they get friendly, and then they start getting kissy.
TLDR, Cade ships you and the blacksmith.
Is Zeno speaking from experience out of character?
Yes.
Cat's just like, bro, we're friends. I don't make
Yeah,
friends
friends
easily.
don't specifically buy things in their stock just for one person, let alone give away free stuff.
She didn't specifically buy anything for me. What the fuck are you talking about?
I'll tell you what I'm talking about. She has the hots for you.
Cat is, but for the record, Cat is blushing immensely while she's denying all of this. Cat's like, no, I don't think so. I mean,
No.
Cat's like, look, I doubt it. I mean, I am not trying to term her or anything, and usually, unless somebody wants something from me, people don't get crushes on me. They know better.
Exceptions to every rule.
It's got a
Cade just
point.
goes at you. If that's you guys are talking at the bar with us at this point.
Yeah, I
or
mean,
if not,
Yeah,
they
at this point,
they
we
came
felt-
back. They came back to
Yeah.
the tavern with all of you inside, like mid conversation, and
yeah, we're walking into the bar having this conversation. So
yeah. So the only part I heard is that last part you said. So I'm just gonna shout at you from across the bar. There's exceptions to every rule.
do you even know what we're talking about?
Nope.
It's got a crush.
I do not have a crush.
And more
I have
importantly, the
never-
crush also has a crush on Cat.
Cade's grinning even more and goes, "Is it the blacksmith? I ship you guys. I mean, I don't. Did I say that out loud?
Cat looks like, what the? Does everybody think me and Sava have a thing going on?
Yes.
I was there. You two most certainly have a thing going on. And if her
Okay,
feel special and whatnot.
Tim, out of character, I do have a question. I need to know how the rest of the bar reacts to that question.
As far as like
She
other
says it kind of loudly.
other people that are inside,
Yeah.
let me think. Well, actually, I haven't even given this any thought. How many other people are inside?
A lot
Oh,
of
a
people
D20.
in the bar who actually know who Cat is.
No,
I'm
not
sure
a D,
people
not
outside
not
of
a
it.
D20. I rolled a D8.
Like, I'm
'cause
sure
it's-
people who don't know who the fuck Cat is don't give a shit.
It's kind of like off hours, because
Yeah.
it's like mid afternoon, like 2-3 o'clock. So not a ton of other people inside the bar. It's Mako and Bethana, and there's maybe like 4 or 5 other people.
So yeah, so Cat loudly says, "Does everybody?" She's like, "Oh my god, does everybody?" Or "Oh my god, does everybody think Sava and I have a thing going on?"
Yes. Cade just nods her head vigorously, just like,
none of the other patrons like say anything. Some of them like look up for a moment and then just like return to their drinks. So you don't know. I mean, there might be other people. There might be people thinking things, but
So out of character,
nobody says anything out loud.
Out of character, I was kind of hoping that like Mako and Mafano just go in unison in with like the rest of my crew. Yes.
yes. That's kind of what I expected, and that's what I
That's
was
what I was
saying.
expecting.
Too.
That's why I asked.
Oh well, as far as like a Mako and Bethana, a Mako just looks up and pulls out a glass and starts pouring herself a drink, and she says, "Oh, tell me more."
Tell you more of what?
On how the blacksmith specifically buys certain items for her to buy, as well as making her feel special.
What the hell are you talking about?
Kay just starts laughing.
And how they can't wait to see each other again. It was adorable.
Yes, because we're friends.
Okay.
Have you never had a friend before?
Cade literally puts one finger on Cat's lip and going, "Shh, don't ruin the dream."
Cat is sitting here very. Cat's like, what the
Bethana looks up and she turns to Ameko and just says, "Good for her." And then she also pours herself a drink.
He just looks at everyone and goes, "You realize that if you guys make all these friendships and relationships here, you're not gonna leave me."
Cade, Cade, I'm never gonna leave you.
Boop.
You're like my
Cade,
little sister. I can't.
Cade boops her nose and goes, "Yeah, I know,
Never
because
gonna
you're
give you
not
up.
getting rid of
We're
me.
gonna let
I'm not
you
gonna."
down. We're gonna
Sorry, what?
turn around and desert you.
Kay just slowly turns, bewildered, looking at Dino and going, "Was that you singing?"
I never heard of that song before. It's amazing back in Otherworld. Never heard of it.
It's
Other
amazing.
world.
It's a Magnamar staple.
Some
It's
acid
very
trip.
popular.
Imagine like the official song of Magnamar is just a Rickroll.
All the bards in the tavern constantly get asked to play it.
Oh.
And every single woman who hears that song looks at the singer and says, "He's a fucking liar."
But anyway, Cade, what'd you say? I'm sorry. I couldn't hear you.
Kate's just going, "Yeah, you're not gonna get rid of me. You guys are kind of stuck with me." And I kind of boop them and I go, "Plus, may or may not have separation problems, may or may not be a mesmer, and may or may not enchant people to stay around. Who knows?"
Cat just looks at Dino and goes, "See? This is what I mean. Relationships are all about who you can charm into doing shit for you."
Friends. Kate just says with a grin.
Ameko raises her glass and just says, "To friends." Just laughing.
What is so funny?
And I just
Because literally it's no secret. Everyone here knows that you two are more than just friends. Air quotes.
Ameko just says, "I have no idea what's so funny. I'm just glad to see you guys again." And
Kate is too at the same point and goes, "You
Look
know
at her
what?
like, Mako, I'm not stupid. I know something. Like, I'm not stupid. And no, there's nothing going on between me and Sava. It's not like she'd ever want a manipulative bitch like me anyway."
Oh, you are not a manipulative bitch. You are a cat. You are a friend."
Ameko just
Kate looks
says,
over and goes,
Mako's like, "Again, I don't know what you're talking about." And she just like slams her drink.
Kate just looks at everyone and goes, "You know what? You are all good friends. And as you just said, you treated me like little sister. And guess what? I'm thankful for having all of you and all of us not being dead. Whoever
I'm
is
also grateful
friends
that we're
with
not
me."
all dead.
And then I raise my glass and a cheers and then, well, just hammer back the rest of my mead.
Okay. Mead sounds good. Pour me a pint.
Mako just pours around a mead for everyone, like not even really caring if that's what you guys actually want. Just she's like, just
looks at her and goes, "Do I have to pay for this?"
Nope.
Says,
Kate
"No,
goes, "I got this."
"Oh, thank you. In that case," and just
you guys know that you're free for life here."
I keep forgetting that for some reason. I think, or rather, that's I'm used to that, but also it's usually after I kind of either conned or fucked somebody into giving me free things. So
Including the blacksmith.
I'm not sleeping with Sava.
Not yet. Okay. Ursula, what do you want to do?
I guess while everyone was out at their respective stores, I wanted to ask Ameko if she had an open spot in the tavern somewhere that I could hang something.
You want to? I see where this is going.
I'm gonna keep the painting covered at all times until I hang it up.
So Ameko looks around at the walls of the tavern. She says, "Oh, there's a spot above the fireplace up there."
Ooh, awesome. Can I have a nail and a hammer?
Yeah, certainly. She like reaches below the bar and grabs whatever she can get her hands on and gives
I
it
love
to
how
you.
she just has this handy.
I mean, she runs this bar day and night, 7 days a week, so she's got to have tools at the ready.
All right, so I'm gonna take the painting that's covered and the hammer and the nail. I'm gonna go position it properly. Do I have to roll for that, or can we just say that I get it on
No,
point?
no, yeah, you manage. Takes you a little bit to like straighten it out and everything, but yeah, you manage to hang this still covered painting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's now positioned above the fireplace.
Okay, and I'm going to be like, hey, Mako, come here. I'm going to unveil it, I guess.
You pull the sheet off of it, and she takes one look at it, and she says, that the painting's moving, and the painting is like, no, it's not moving. Like, yes, of course it's moving. What's wrong with you? Mako is like, where did you get this?
Oh, Vorshali.
That fucking guy.
Hey, you can entertain your guests when they're drunk.
You know what? Ah, okay, we can try it for this weekend. We'll see how it goes.
Okay, cool.
He's kind of creepy though.
Yeah, he is kind of creepy.
The painting just kind of just like grunts angrily. Well, that's certain to go over well with all the guests, but I've seen worse.
Yeah.
I still gotta wonder who would make something like this. Like who? And she's like looking at the painting, like who did this? And it once again just says, everyone always says, who painted you, not why did they paint you, or how you doing in there. Like basically the
I
same
mean,
response you got.
yeah, don't ask him that. He gets triggered.
Pretty sure if you ask him anything, he gets triggered.
Actually,
Oh, that
we're all
is
in the bar
true.
now. We're also in the bar now, correct? And I'm also here.
Yes, everyone's in
Yeah.
the bar.
Very well. Angela actually asked the one question nobody else asked, which is, why were you made? And then just being sort of taken aback by it, it's like, why were you made? What is your purpose?
Why was I made? Someone has a bad sense of humor, I guess. As for what my purpose is, if I knew that, I probably wouldn't be a painting.
And why are you so upset when people ask, what's your purpose, when you don't know the answer yourself?
Just never liked that question.
Fair.
Yeah, and like if these responses seem like intentionally ridiculous, like they are. Like this painting is not thrilled about its situation.
It's about right.
Um, but yeah, is there anything else anyone wants to do
No, I
Uh,
think
for now?
we
No,
covered
man.
everything. We had a
Okay.
lot of fun tonight, actually.
Yeah. All right. So we'll call it here. I given the length of time it's going to take for the enchantments, I would say at the start of next week we'll probably just like do like a sort of fast forward downtime bit. I wish Rob was still here because then maybe we could like talk about how like his time is going to be used, because I would imagine that this would be a pretty good time for you guys to maybe like make some magic items if you're still wanting to craft things.
Hell yeah.
Now would probably be a good time like while you're waiting and doing things around town otherwise. But we can talk about that on Discord or elsewhere. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys kind of steering the role play into a direction that, whether you meant to do it or not, kind of accommodated my feeling that I hadn't really prepped enough for tonight. So really, thank you all for that. It would have been nice to like get to Riddleport tonight, but I'm not gonna be upset about that when I again hadn't really prepped enough. So getting me another week for that is it's a blessing. I assure you. As far as next week goes, I know Kim's not going to be here, so we can either we can play anyway, we can do something else. I'm open, so we can.
We could do like a one shot.
Yeah, we could do a one shot for sure. I could come up with something, or if somebody else wants to run it.
We could also do the Rick and Morty thing if you have that. I think I have it on Roll20 actually.
I don't have it on Roll20, but I can probably get it through some other means. But if you have it on Roll20, then that's great.
I think I bought it. I'm not. Let me just double check real quick.
I could arrange something.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you want to do. I'm open. We can talk about it. We can talk about that again. We got all week. But yeah. So
check my purchase.
On Roll20, you go.
I found it. Never mind.
Okay, cool. Just got so many extra tabs open for this game. So
I don't have it, but I could get it.
All right, yeah, whatever you're feeling.
I've run it before, so I wouldn't mind running again.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, I'm down to talk about it whenever. So yeah, good session, everyone. Some rather interesting developments have occurred, and I expect more of the same for next week. So until then, we will see you next Sunday.
I'm excited. Looking forward to it.